Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
If you're ready to lose weight, feel stronger, boost your energy, or finally get your hormones dialed in, check out Jumpstart MD. You get real clinicians, real support, and a fully personalized plan with GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, testosterone therapy, hormone optimization, peptide therapy, and more. They've helped Californians lose over 1 million pounds and counting. Visit one of their 13 Bay Area clinics or do it all online. Mention radio for up to 70% off this June. Call 855-JUMPSTART or visit jumpstartmd.com.
Hey, it's Willard. Here's a real behind-the-scenes moment with Habas Law. We asked about their new billboards. Do you smile or not? Then it got real. Omar Habas said, we meet people in the hardest moments of their lives. It's on us to restore dignity and a financial future. Traumatic brain injuries, loss of a limb, spinal cord damage, a life changed in seconds. When everything's on the line, choose the team that understands that. Habas Law. They fight to make it right. Visit habaslaw.com.
Omar Habas is a California licensed attorney. Offices in Northern California, including San Jose. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery. Staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation, and neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. The best Giants talk in the Bay is on 95.7 The Game. Reaction to every pitch.
Miller throws. He got him with the fastball. Miller's pointing at all the Reds.
Every home run.
High drive! Left field! Out of here!
And every big play.
A little slow roller. Chapman. Barehand. Got it!
It's your fix for Giants baseball.
It is a dream come true, but it's a very recent dream.
The Orange and Black Weekend Wrap.
Woo, hello there, and welcome into the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap. Sam Lohman here alongside Dan Devone. We didn't have a highlight there because there's just too many damn highlights to choose from. Steven Risotto behind the glass, just completely overwhelmed by the deluge of Giants offense yesterday. Couldn't pick a highlight, so we just came in with nothing because it's tyranny of choice when the Giants win 18-3 over the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field, and some Friday afternoon baseball at Wrigley Field. So I'm sure makes that atmosphere all the more festive, though the Giants still 26-38. We won't talk about the record that much because it's still nothing to look at, but 18-3 victory over the Cubs. Dan, that will play. Good morning, Dan. How you doing?
Good. I think we can look at the record.
You want to look at the record today?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm buying this. Sammy, pour me a tall glass of Kool-Aid.
Come on, man. We're not even 60 seconds into the show yet. Don't take me down that path just yet.
I am. I think this is the pivot. And I know I've look at last Sunday after they scored 19. I said the same thing to Steiny as I did the Monday show, filling in for the great Guru. And I said, I just got a feeling that they're just too good. And they're going to hit at some point. And we're banging our head against the wall trying to figure this out. Why aren't they? Well, that's just, to me, that means that they will at some point. And I think here it comes. Now, we got to worry about the starting pitching, right? Like if it's not one thing, it's the other, as my mom likes to say. But I do think that the Giants are ready to make a move. And here's why you can look at the standings if you want to start there. They're 8.5 games out. I looked at this morning. 8.5 games out. Is that unsurmountable? It's June. It's early June. Pasta, let me take you back. And Sammy last year. And I always give you 18 and 30 or 19 and 31. Wasn't that the benchmark?
The Nationals in 2019.
19.
Giants technically, I think they were 20 and 30 at their 50 games. So they technically were a game better than that Nationals team this year. As I buy into the Kool-Aid that you're dumping down my throat here at 9:03 in the morning on a Saturday.
Here's the new benchmark. I forgot about this last year. Remember the Guardians in July? 15.5 games out of a playoff spot. 15.5. The Giants are 8.5, and that was July. I'm just saying there's time. And I think the offensive woes are now behind us officially.
Well, one would certainly hope. At least hopefully Matt Chapman's offensive woes are behind him. Dan, he's already having a pretty good road trip. He had 7 RBIs on this road trip going into yesterday's game. And then he adds a 3-run home run. He adds a sacrifice fly. And as if that wasn't enough, let's just add another grand slam on top of that. And for the second time this year, Dan, the Giants have grand slams in consecutive games. I believe it's the 7th time they've done that in their overall history as a franchise. Second time this year. 6 grand slams in the last 20 days, Dan. Let me bring up how many other teams have done that here. The Giants, I was watching the TV broadcast yesterday with Dave Fleming and Hunter Pence, and they had their the person doing the stats, Mariana De Palma. She's part of their PR staff. She was just working furiously on her computer, firing out all these stats for Fleming and Pence to go off of here. 6 grand slams in a span of 20 days or less, or 18 games or less, as the Giants have been doing it. The Giants did it this year. The Braves did it in 1997. The Mets did it in 2006. The Reds did it in 2018. The Expos did it in 1996. The Brewers did it in 2024, so a couple years ago. And the Padres did it in 2020. Padres hit 6 grand slams in a 12-game span in 2020. That's actually insane.
What they called the Slam
Diego. Yeah. Hunter Pence was trying to figure it out last night or yesterday. It's like San Fran Slamco or San Slamco. Or it's like, Hunter, just call it Slam Francisco.
They lead the majors, I want to say, don't they?
Yeah, they lead the majors this year in grand slams with those 6. Again, when you hit 6 in a 20-day span, you're going to rock it up.
To me, that's just one of those inexplicable. I mean, it's awesome, but that's not something you can really hang your hat on. It's just one of those baseball nuanced sort of weird things.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like walk-off wins or grand slams. Like certain stats out there, it's just they don't actually tell a story if you're a good team or not. Like one of my favorites, Dan, is do you know what team in Giants history has the most walk-off wins in a season?
2021?
No, it's actually the 1985 Giants. 15 walk-off wins, and they had 100 losses.
They're terrible.
So they had 100 losses, but there's 15 games where they could have added on to that loss total, but didn't because they got a win in their last at-bat. So that's just kind of one of those
well, I got one for you. You know how bad the Giants' offense has been this year. You know who leads the majors in hits?
What, among teams or players?
Teams.
Teams who leads the majors in hits.
The Giants.
That sounds like a fake stat.
They're first or second. Look it up.
Risotto,
it's not hard to do.
Do you know who leads the Major League Baseball in hitting in the last month?
Well, that makes sense if it's the Giants.
The Giants are first in batting average, OPS, and slugging percentage in the last 30 days.
What about on-base percentage, though?
They're second to the Pirates.
Really? The on-base percentage is starting to go up. You're starting to see a little bit more walks from this team.
If you were to ask yourself, okay, why are you leading the team in hits? And your offensive surge over the last month has been ridiculous. It's because the fact that they don't walk has been really sort of it's going up a little bit. It's ticking upward, but that's sort of the caveat there. It's you're leading the team, the majors in hits, but you're last in walks.
No, they're still far and away last in walks. I think are they walking more over the last few weeks? I mean, maybe. I mean, are they walking more, or are they just walking so few or so not often in that first month of the year that anything is an improvement? I think it's probably that latter, and that they were drawing so few walks in April that anything they're doing in May and June is going to be looked upon as an improvement, though. But, Dan, you're seeing throughout this road trip here, again, starting in Colorado last week and got off to such an awful start, too. You got that walk-off loss on Friday. You get absolutely motorboated on Saturday. They bounced back on Sunday, have that big outburst, but no one really cared about that because you already lost the previous two. You got guys hitting really well on this road trip. Jung-Hoo Lee, obviously, 13-game hitting streak for him. Love seeing that. But Bryce Eldridge hitting 500 on this road trip, Dan.
I think he's the one that jumps out to me.
Yeah, that has been, I think, the most fun development of this road trip is watching Bryce Eldridge and the at-bats that he's having throughout this trip here.
Well, two things. He's got to play every day, and I can't believe we're having that conversation, but he did sit against
Kyle Harrison.
He pinch hit against Kyle Harrison, right?
I don't think he actually faced Kyle Harrison.
No, but he pinch hit in that game.
I believe so, yeah.
And that's one of those things. Don't you want to see that at bat? Like, come on, Giants, get that right. You want to see Kyle Harrison versus the kid?
That one kind of, I looked at as, I think they just wanted to not have him get. There's a part of me that thought my conspiracy theory was they don't want the past prospect to embarrass the current prospect.
You weren't in favor of not having him play that game, were you?
I wanted him to hit against Eldridge. I wanted Eldridge to hit against Harrison.
Eldridge has got to play every day.
I mean, Eldridge has done well against lefties, but Harrison's done also really well against lefties.
Yeah, so he just needs to see. He needs to see as much major league pitching from both sides of the bump as possible. That's where we're at. And there's he might be your best hitter, and that's saying a lot for the Giants right now.
Right now, he's taking the best at-bats. On this road trip, Dan, again, 8 games for him. He's got the 1 home run, 11 RBIs so far on this road trip. Second behind Matt Chapman. 11 runs on this road trip, which is the most for the Giants on this road trip. A 12% walk rate and an 18% strikeout rate. Those numbers will absolutely play. Granted, again, small sample size, 8 games on the road. He's got to do it at home. He's got to do it over a long period of time. I don't think he's going to hit 500 throughout his career, which is what he's been doing on this road trip. He's hitting 500 on this road trip.
Well, he's like, I want to say 290, 91 overall. The average is up close to 300. He's like 290, I want to say.
He's just been really coming around, and it's just every at-bat looks better than the one before it. So far on the season, he's hitting 293 on the season, 467 slugging percentage. He's got a walk rate of 11.6%, 23.3% strikeout rate so far on the season.
The worst thing you could do to that kid right now is not have him play.
I think I say this is a loaded statement. I think we're kind of past the point of whether or not Bryce is going to be in the lineup.
So did I, but he didn't play against the Brewers, and I was completely shocked after what it is that he did in Colorado, especially against left-handed pitching, the patience. You could see him getting deep in accounts. You could see that the game was slowing down for him, and they decide that they still need to bubble wrap this guy. I couldn't believe it. Here's the other thing is, hey, 2 things. Play him every day, and I'm not sure we need to bury him down at number 6 or number 7.
He's starting to move up in the lineup. The lineup is out today. He's hitting 6th in today's lineup. So
yeah, well, I mean, Adames is hitting better. I don't know that you move Devers down, but he needs to come up a little bit. I mean, open your eyes, recognize, Giants. This is the guy.
No, he's starting to look every bit like the guy right now. I agree. I mean, we've already seen him move up again from 7 to 6. He's hitting ahead of Matt Chapman. Now, by the way, today's lineup is out. It's an early start today.
Yeah.
Another day baseball game at Wrigley Field, 11:20 start today. Casey Schmidt leading off in left field. We rarely have a lineup this early in our show, Dan. Rafi Devers batting second at first base.
It's 1:30 in Chicago.
Yeah, so I mean that's part of it. And again, Wrigley loves those day games.
Oh, yeah.
Luis Arias batting third at second base. Willie Adames in the cleanup spot at short. Jung Hoo Lee hitting fifth in right field. Bryce Eldridge sixth at DH. Matt Chapman at third base hitting seventh. Batting eighth and catching Eric Haas. And Drew Gilbert batting ninth in center field. So Eldridge, again, sixth in the lineup there. Where he moves up from there, I'll be honest, Dan, the way that those top 5 guys are hitting right now, is it more you don't want to put Bryce Eldridge in that top 5? Or is that top 5 just making it hard for Bryce Eldridge to crack in there? Like, it's both arguments are valid there, which is, on the latter argument, kind of a good thing.
I mean, I would. Adames was huge, but he was the one guy prior to the game against Chicago yesterday that I could see maybe moving down a bit and making room for Eldridge. The idea that this guy doesn't play and we need to bury him and let him go. So I think that we've hit that pivotal point here where I think the Giants now are beginning. The bigger question now is starting pitching. Like the hitting to me, that was, that's in the rearview mirror. It's the Landon Roops, Robbie Ray. I mean, yeah, it was, he only gives up a couple of runs, but the control continues to be an issue. And, you hope Logan Webb's Logan Webb, but that's where you're at. And then the bullpen continues to be a huge question mark.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Robbie Ray's day yesterday, because there was, again, some good and some bad in there. 5 innings, which a nice little improvement from him. He's really struggled to get to that 5-inning mark as of late. The fastball, I thought he was kind of having moments with it. The sweeper-slider combo, I thought he was really battling with yesterday. That changeup really saved him yesterday, though. And for a guy who, again, the last couple starts, starting with that one in Arizona where he gave up the 10 runs, it's been kind of rough going from him. He's been throwing a lot of pitches, giving up a lot of walks, struggling to go deep in games. And it's a very important pitcher for the Giants, Dan. I mean, obviously, he's your number 2 pitcher. He needs to kind of take some of the load off of Logan Webb. And I want to talk about Logan Webb's start the other night at some point this show as well. But also, Dan, it's regardless of where this team is at right now, regardless of what they can do, Robbie Ray is their best trade piece. And they need him to pitch well to increase his value, to make it easier to move him at the deadline. I have a hard time seeing a future right now where the Giants don't move Robbie Ray at the deadline. And
are we still selling at the deadline?
I think right now you're still selling at the deadline.
Yeah, well, right now
you're 12 games under 500. Like,
I understand, but again, you're 8.5 from a playoff spot. And you got a lot of teams leapfrog. I get it. Stranger things have happened. And the other thing about Robbie Ray is he's a left-hander, right? So to your point, he's always going to be coveted when it comes to the trade deadline. There's always somebody that's going to give you something for a left-hander when you're talking about a team that's in contention. I just think that it's a day-by-day to me right now as we continue to assess this baseball team.
Yeah. Here's what Robbie had to say about his outing yesterday.
I feel like my last 2 outings, I've just kind of built off of them. Fastball command wasn't as great today, but I was able to throw the changeup really well. Some good curveballs and sliders as well. So, biggest thing is that fastball command. So I think that it's definitely a step in the right direction.
So again, step in the right direction because, again, it was a couple starts ago. I think it was the White Sox start. He talked afterwards just like, I'm having some mechanical issues. So he's got to get back into the lab, as they say, and diagnose what those are. And I remember I asked him specifically, like, do you know what it is you're going to be looking for? Do you have an idea as what you're going to be looking for? Do you go back? He's like, I don't really know, which maybe he did and he just doesn't want to tell me, or maybe he really didn't. But that was his best start in a couple starts yesterday, Dan, and very good to see him kind of trending in that right direction. Right
If that's his best start, that's not saying much.
Well, the last few starts.
I know. It's just the control. That's where it begins and ends, is that he has to have better command. And that's what you expect out of him. So, you know what? Pitchers go into funks just like hitters.
Yeah.
They struggle with their release point, and they miss the plate. And so it's just sort of it's one of those things where that he's better than this, and so you give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, the walks thing, I mean, even last year, the walks thing was kind of an issue for him, and then that's going to be part of why the pitch count gets up so much. I mean, I think him and Landon Roop have some of the highest pitch count per innings, actually. Landon Roop is today's starter. In fact, actually looking at, so they put it somewhere in the game notes. Here it is. So Landon Roop's got about 17.8 pitches per inning. Robbie Ray at 18.3 pitches per inning. That is third most in MLB in terms of pitches per inning here. And for a guy like Robbie, he's a max effort guy, you hear it every single pitch he throws with. I thought Risotto's going to throw that grunt drop in there. They call him the grunt master for a reason. There it is.
The ultimate grunt master out there.
There it is. So you do get worried about him kind of almost wearing himself down a little bit. I mean, again, he's been doing this for a while. He knows how to not do that, but it's going to be harder for him to get those deeper starts, though, when he's just racking up the pitch count like he is.
Yeah, and same thing with Roop. And I would say that walks are not isolated to him, but for some reason, it's plagued this, not the entire rotation, but certainly the bullpen. Like the walks have now really become sort of a bugaboo. And the last thing you want to see a reliever do when he comes into the game is the first guy he faces issue a base on balls. And that's happened with such high frequency with this team. And again, I don't know how you snap out of this funk, but it's a thing. The walks are a thing, and not just relegated to Robbie Ray.
No, the bullpen's been doing it a lot lately. It's something about this team in walks. They can't draw them enough. They can't. They can't not give them up enough. It's just this team in walks. It has just been as bad a relationship as you can ask for. I think Tony, after what was it, the Tuesday night game against the Brewers, Tony got all the pitchers together in a meeting and basically really kind of drilled into them like, hey guys, we gotta be attacking the zone a bit more. We gotta stop giving up these walks. Yeah. You saw a little bit some of the relievers this week. Wilkin Ramos got into some trouble on Thursday with the walks, and the Giants did not waste any time sending him back to AAA and bringing up Carson Seymour to replace him. So they're being a little bit more proactive, I guess, when guys aren't getting the job done of bringing someone else in who will. And it's just another sign. At least they're not trying to just pack in the season. Like they are going to try and battle and make this record as respectable as possible. And by doing that, they're going to hopefully be a little bit quicker on guys who aren't getting the job done on this team in terms of making moves.
What are your biggest reservations about this team going forward?
I mean, again, the inability to draw walks is still going to be a concern no matter what.
Yeah, but they're hitting now. So,
well, it's about the momentum. Like, can they do it consistently? I mean, this is I think the fourth time this year, Dan, they've won 3 games in a row. They're going for their first 4-game winning streak today, which is why I'm not going to be drinking any Kool-Aid just yet. I mean, they haven't even had a 4-game winning streak yet this year, and we're talking about potentially turning the whole season around. But my big bugaboo for this team overall on a grander scale, it has been the inability to turn a win on one day into a win the next day, and then turn those 2 wins into a third win, and then turn those 3 wins into a fourth win, and just building off of your positive outings. Tony was asked about what a win like that does for the momentum yesterday. Here's what he had to say on that.
I think that's been building a little bit too. I think having Gary here today active was phenomenal. I think just as a group, again, we've ramped up the conversations and the communication. We've tried to look at things in the past we could do different. I'd like to think we're in a good place in moving forward with our coaching staff. The offense, you'd certainly say the same. Defense has been pretty dang good. I know we've had to juggle a lot of different guys in the outfield, but Schmitty's worked so hard to be improving, so you could even say a little bit on the defense. And then the biggest thing is the pitching just kind of returning back to their roots, because they made some adjustments from spring training, making attacking basically a lifestyle, and it hasn't necessarily been that. You trust guys like Robbie to navigate through a lineup, and he knows what he's doing out there. But overall, if those guys start to attack the way they have in the past, then maybe we got, shout out to Voltron, everybody assemble, and you got everybody going in the right direction. That's pretty random, right? Michelle did the 80s, I got that.
So here you go, nice little Power Rangers reference there at the end. But that last part, though, he's talking about getting the pitching on track, Dan. Since May 1st, these are the ERAs of your starting pitchers. Landon Roop's got a 6.28 ERA since May 1st. That's not going to get it done. Tyler Mahle, a 6.23 ERA in that span. He's been his performance will tell you he's been one of the worst pitchers in baseball this year. I mean, he's got the highest ERA in baseball this year, and he's on the injured list right now. Robbie Ray, a 5.50 ERA during that time. Trevor McDonald has a 4.50 ERA since May 1st. Logan Webb, a 4.11 ERA. Granted, he missed some time, of course, due to the knee injury, but he had a nice bounce back on Wednesday. 7 innings, one hit allowed. And then Adrian Hauser's been your ace since May 1st, and a 3.86 ERA. That has been the quote-unquote best performer in your pitching rotation, 30 innings thrown in that time. You can't have a situation where Adrian Hauser's been your best pitcher for over a month.
Yeah, Logan Webb is their best pitcher. And again, it's much like the hitting early on in the season. I think these guys have the pedigree, including Robbie Ray. Trevor McDonald does not necessarily have the back of his baseball card that we can rely on, but there's talent there. And I guess the reason why I asked you is what is the biggest concern going forward? I think you echo the sentiment of a lot of people that, whether it's sustainability, that they have to keep the momentum going. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that there are no real valid holes. You can't tell me, oh, well, it's obviously that you don't have a first baseman. It's obvious that you don't have a shortstop. It's obvious the outfield sucks. It's obvious you need to trade for X. No, when you look at this team, 1 through 9, they're pretty stacked. And you're beginning to see the hitting coming around. And again, the pitching is, if the pitching can get better, and that's obviously saying a lot, but again, I put faith in Robbie Ray and Landon Roop, as well as obviously Logan Webb, and if you can get something out of Trevor McDonald where he becomes this guy that you didn't factor in early on in the season, there's substance here. And again, I think part of the reason why everybody had such a hard time is to pinpoint what's wrong with this team is because they're actually not bad. They're just not playing well. I know that's difficult to digest. That's a weak take. But I think at the end of the day, this is a team now, at least offensively, is beginning to play up to their potential.
And will that kind of will the pitching along as well? I agree with you on the offense there, Dan. I mean, you look up and down this lineup, and even over the last month, you're getting better production from Rafi Devers at the plate. I mean, he hit like 18 doubles in the month of May, which is like a franchise record. Willie Adames has, gone crazy at the plate over the last 25 games. Things like 8 home runs in his last 25 games or something like that. He's heating up with the weather. Matt Chapman's starting to put it together over the last week. Casey Schmidt's been hitting great all year long. Luis Arias has been hitting great all year long. Jung-Hoo Lee has been a terror at the plate for the last month, and now you got Bryce Eldridge come along. You got 6 or 7 guys in this lineup right now who,
from top to bottom,
can actually hit.
There's no holes. Arias is number 3 in the majors in hitting. Mm-hmm. You know who's number 4?
Jung-Hoo Lee.
Right?
Like, he has become legit this year, and I think part of the reason, Dan, why it's still not putting it together, why the results still aren't quite there in the way you would expect, is I do think the lack of walks does hurt them, just trip them up a little bit. It's because when you're scoring runs, you got to get multiple base runners in a row. And while they've all been able to hit, they're not doing it, they're not in sync when they hit. They're not doing it together. They're not stringing hits and base runners together.
Well, they have been over the last 2 days.
Last week they have, but prior to this road trip, they have really struggled. You're counting maybe 1 or 2 times a game where they've been able to get 3-4 base runners on in a row. It is really hard to string rallies together when you cannot consistently get guys on base. If you can get these walk numbers up, then I think you'll start seeing the production from the offense really kind of hit its second stride. The pitchers, I mean, I think Landon...
Giants lead the majors in hits, 577.
That's wild.
Right?
That's wild to lead the league in hits, but be at the bottom in walks.
You know how many hits they had in the last 2 games? 2 games.
Well, they had
39. That's unheard of.
That is, again, it's just the amount of offensive things that they've done over the last couple days.
It's kind of feast or famine.
It really is. It really is. And can they get consistency there? Can they get the pitching to get on board? I don't think Landon Roop is as bad as the 6.28 ERA since the start of May would suggest. Hopefully the back isn't an issue for him. We'll see what he can do today. Robbie Ray, again, if it was a mechanical fix, I would expect him to come around. But again, until he can control the walks, which he's yet to show he can do, there's always going to be some level of concern there, but it's more for him just pitch well enough to make another team want you. That's basically the only thing for Robbie Ray.
Sammy, hold on to selling. I'm just saying, keep it in your back pocket, kid. Hold on.
You know what? If you really want to play this game, maybe on the other side we can play this a little bit. Just
not a game.
Well, at what point do you start to allow yourself to think differently on this team? I am far away from getting to that point.
I was in after they put up 19 against the Rockies.
I mean, you're still 12 games under. You're 8 games back. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that you have to climb under or climb over to get there. That's just to get to be the first team out of the National League. Then you got to actually usurp one of the teams that are currently in the National League wildcard picture. So
you know who you got to bring up? Where's the tug? Bring up the tugboat.
Ooh. Tug our way there.
The tugboat, you see the numbers he's putting up?
I have not. Maybe we get into that on the other side, though. We are coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. Laughing Monk, Righteously Brewed in San Francisco. Giants Orange and Black weekend wrap. Also, after today, Valkyries, they're in Las Vegas taking on the Aces, so don't go anywhere after the show's over today. We'll be throwing it over to Kevin Dana and catching the Valkyries against the Aces there. So, very packed day here on 95.7 The Game. So glad you all could be with us. It's all brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good.
Wow. Hey, it's Willard and Dips for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for members. And as always, save up to 20% weekly on hundreds of exclusive offers from Safeway. Just clip the highlighted deals from the weekly mailer or click the deals in the For You section of the Safeway app to breeze through checkout. Mix and match Foster Farms Simply Raised boneless, skinless chicken breasts, thin sliced or tenders. Buy one, get one free of equal or lesser value when you buy 2. And there's 2 of us. Here's Dibs.
And large 2-pound packs of delicious and juicy strawberries for $4.99 each, and taste the quality of the new Signature Select potato chips, 7.75 to 8 ounce selected varieties, just $1.88 each. Mark,
is that all from you?
That's all.
I could have used more.
More chips, more strawberries?
Well, just more of all things that you can find at Safeway. These and other great deals are available in the weekly mailer and the For You section on the Safeway app. Go to Safeway.com for more details, and we'll see you in the aisles.
All right, I need avocados, bananas, salad, steak.
Wow, does your grocery list have multiple pages?
No, but I skipped lunch, so now it's like my stomach is doing the grocery shopping. And besides, I'm earning cash back with Upside.
Upside? What's that?
Hold up, you haven't heard of it? Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you shop at gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants. And they added Lucky and Food Max stores, so we're pretty much covered wherever we go.
All those stores?
Yep, so not only are we getting a great deal on groceries, now we can earn cash back as well.
Okay, downloading Upside. Now let me copy your grocery list.
Great news! Lucky and Food Max are now on Upside. Download the Upside app and use the promo code SAVE8 to earn a 10% cashback bonus on your first grocery purchase. That's promo code SAVE8 for a 10% cashback bonus. Use promo code SAVE8.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit TremfyaRadio.com.
Paid advertisement by Ovation Law Firm, a California law firm. Some cases may be referred to partner attorneys. No attorney-client relationship is formed without a signed agreement. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Attention California vehicle owners. Feeling worn down by a 2022 or newer car that won't stop breaking down? We know the sleepless nights, the missed hours at work, the money and pride tied up in a vehicle that keeps letting you down. If your 2022 or newer purchased or leased vehicle has had repeated problems or been in the shop shop for over 30 days, California's Lemon Law is on your side. You could be entitled to a full refund, replacement vehicle, or a cash settlement. We've helped thousands of people get real relief, and we'll fight the manufacturer so you don't have to. There's never a cost to you. For a fast, free qualification check, call now at 800-535-0310. That's 800-535-0310. 800-535-0310.
Question. Real estate in California. What the Seriously, can someone help? What's an escrow? What's an ARM? What is an REO? What is pre-approval? Can I get pre-approval? Why is inventory so low? Why are interest rates so high? Oh, interest rates not so high? How low is low? How not so high is right.
Before you go down the road of questions, get expert help at championsofhome.com. California Association of Realtors. Who's your realtor?
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
Hey, Bay Area, it's Guru. You know what's really bugging you? It's not your fantasy team or the refs. It's the bugs in your house. Ants stealing snacks, spiders showing up uninvited. That's when you head straight to AtcoPest.com. Atco Pest Control has been handling Bay Area pest problems safely and naturally for over 40 years, protecting your family and your pets without breaking the bank. Get the details now at AtcoPest.com. ATCO Pest.com. Atco's got you covered.
Another 2-2. Adames blasts one to deep left field. Headed toward the top of the bleachers. Gone! And I think that one made it all the way out onto Waveland. 2-0 Giants. Adames skies one to left. Deep. And gone! 13-0.
Now back to the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap on 95.7 The Game.
That was just Adames, as Steven Risotto says. That was not playing the same home run twice. He actually had 2 home runs yesterday. Again, Willy Adames, what a day for him. He has really been turning things around at the plate lately. Susan Slusser had in her story yesterday what he's been doing. Let's see here. And he's homered 8 times over his past 17 games. I think I said 25 games. It's actually been that many home runs in fewer games. 8 home runs in his last 17 games, batting .300 with 23 RBIs in the past 25 games. So got those numbers in line there, Dan. And before the break, you were kind of talking about how, well, hey, what if they do kind of, get hot here? A 3-game winning streak, and we're all going to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm going to say this, Dan.
I drank it.
It's going to take a long time for me to drink this Kool-Aid.
You're not alone.
They could play 500 ball the rest of the year, which I think we could all say would be good, and they would still finish, 12 games under 500. Like, they gotta turn this thing around really, really fast if they're going to make anything of the season. I still think right now they could win today. They could sweep the Cubs and then take, 5 of 6 from the Nationals and Cubs on this next winning streak. And you're still going to be, I think, 6 or 7 games under 500. Still going to be, some 7 or 8 games, 6 or 7 games, out of the wild card spot. It's just there's so much ground they need to make up in such a short amount of time. It's hard for me to buy in it yet. I buy on it now. But do this for the next 2 weeks. and check back with me then.
Listen, it's the beauty of sports, right? It's you have no idea. None of us do. And again, I look at Cleveland a year ago, 15 and a half out, and it was July. What would we be saying if we were doing this show in Cleveland a year ago? We wouldn't even be considering or talking about a potential playoff berth. So I get it. I'm a little longer in the tooth. I've lived a little longer than you. I'm just saying you see some things. And after you get to a certain age, you're like, you know what? Yeah, anything can happen. And I just look at the bones of this team, and I'm like, they got to be hitting at some point. And then I look at the pitching, and I'm like, it's not that bad. Now, look at is as good as the Dodgers or the Yankees or some of the best teams, the Atlanta Braves? No, but I think they can play much, much better than they have in the first part of the season. Whether that results in the playoffs or not, I don't know. But I do think that the second half of the season is going to be a lot more exciting than the first.
The thing is with this team going, if they do get hot, if they do play well the rest of the year, and this is getting maybe too big picture, maybe we're looking too far ahead of things right now, but what the heck, we'll do that anyway. Again, this is the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap. We're going to talk all things Giants. 888-957-9570 is the number to call or text, by the way. We'll take any and all Giants takes. 3-game win streak. Feels crazy to say, but a 3-game win streak. They're looking for their first 4-game win streak of the season. Giants fans, if there was ever a time to drink the Kool-Aid, it might be now. What would it take for you to drink the Kool-Aid on this team? I'm not going there yet with 12, when you're still 12 games under 500 and you still haven't had a 5-game winning streak yet. You need to have at least one of those. But
they're going to win like 15 in a row.
Exactly. Like, you got to go on like...
No, but I'm saying that's the nature of this team. It's like they don't hit or they score 18 runs. They don't hit, they give you 15 hits in a game. They won 3 in a row, they're going to win 15 in a row. There's like no middle ground for this team.
Or there's going to have the games where they do pitch, but then they won't hit, which is what we saw on Wednesday when Logan Webb went out there, had one of his best starts in a while this year. Easily his best start of the year, one of his best starts over the last couple of years. And all he had to show for it was a Victor Barracoto opposite field home run. So it's like on the day the pitching does show up, the hitting doesn't. Yesterday was one of those rare days where you could say that both sides showed up. Carson Whisenhunt getting some big innings out of the bullpen there when Robbie Ray can only go 5 innings. But, Dan, we still haven't seen this team fully in sync yet. It looks like the lineup is getting into sync, but we're not seeing them get in sync with the pitching yet, because the starting pitching over the last month, as I read off last segment, it's been really brutal. The bullpen has been very brutal as well. Keaton Winn has been your best reliever over the last month. I like Keaton Winn a lot. I still feel very good when he comes in. He got the 5-out save, was the other night on Wednesday night to finish off that 1-0 win. Joel Peguero was pitching great, but then hamstring strain, 60-day IL. The Joel Peguero dream that I had of him one day, him being the closer, that feels like it's dead. After that, though, I mean, Sam Hentges has pitched well over the last month, but I mean, it's still early enough from what we're seeing from him that, like, I don't know what to really expect from him.
You got to look forward, Sam. You got to look forward. I'm not put away your notes from what happened last month.
We'll see. Again, it's just we can get everybody in sync pitching-wise. Getting Logan Webb back does help. What did you think of what you saw from Logan Webb on
he's your horse.
Wednesday night?
He's your horse, and thank God they got a digit for him. I think he's back to where he was. Just to go back, revert to the offense for a second.
All right.
And I mentioned this during the week when I was on. I know we're focused on the big three, and they've been somewhat disappointing up to this point. But I think like the paradigm or the narrative is sort of shifting where, yeah, they're still your big three in terms of the contract, but I think your 3 best hitters might be Casey Schmidt, Bryce Eldridge, and Jung-Hoo Lee. And you can throw Devers in there. Like, I think that when you're talking
Luis
about
Arias
the best,
too.
Luis Arias, yeah, but I'm talking in terms of doing damage.
Yeah.
I guess Jung-Hoo Lee doesn't necessarily do damage. But
I mean, the guy's hitting 600 on this road trip, so I think legally right now you could say he's doing damage.
And so if Chapman and Adames and Devers are sort of your ancillary pieces, that should tell you everything you need to know about the depth of this baseball team in terms of hitting 1 through 9. Getting back to Logan Webb, yeah, there's not much to say other than he looked like Logan Webb the other day.
And that definitely, like, that was what your ace does. They stop losing streaks and they start winning streaks. And again, I think it's no coincidence that they've won the 2 games after that start there. I think Tony said it last night. I don't think I cut it, but he said last night, what Logan Webb did the other night with that 1-0 win, it kind of showed this team that, guys, we are built for these situations. We can handle these tight ones. Like, we could win any game that we put our minds through, not to do that old generic, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. But that's kind of what that win on Wednesday showed. It's like, guys, like there is a real good ball club in there. You guys just got to go out there and be that good ball club every day. And if Logan Webb is back to being the Logan Webb that we know and love, that means that every 5 days you're feeling good about this team's chances to have either a momentum continuing game or a game that can generate some momentum as this Wednesday night game did. So, again, great to see Logan Webb get back.
Logan Webb will be Logan Webb, but it's either Landon Root, Robbie Ray. Somebody has to emerge so that you have three guys. You're like, I feel you can't wait once a week to win a game. You got to feel good with two other guys. And you see it. You see the potential there, but therein lies sort of the consistency that you're talking about as far as putting together a win streak.
And I would bank on Robbie Ray to get back to where he's at or where he was at. Again, he's been around this game long enough. He's smart enough to know how to make the adjustments he needs to make. And he's got, the pitch, the way he was mixing his pitches yesterday, when, again, the fastball is only so-so, the sweeper just was not there for him at all yesterday. I thought he was struggling with the slider a little bit, even though he said that he had some good sliders in there, which he did. But yesterday, he was just curveball, changeup, fastball. It seemed like the only pitches he could rely on yesterday. I thought there was a couple times where he did a great job using that curveball to set up the fastball or the fastball to set up the changeup. So he showed that when he's only got a part of his pitch mix working, he could still be effective. Now it's just a matter of, can he be efficient enough to get into the sixth inning and maybe even get a couple outs in the seventh inning? That'll go a long way to giving you not just one, but two guys in your rotation who you can feel good about. And then they need Landon Root to get back to being Landon Root. And if he struggles again today, again, a 6.28 ERA since May 1st. He has not gotten a win since the start of May. You saw the velocity drop in his last start. The back issue flared up. They cannot afford Landon Root to take any sort of regression right now.
And you like to see Trevor McDonald get a little better. If that's a guy that you can rely on, sort of comes out of nowhere. You got something here. I just think there's more. I'll say this: there's more optimism about this baseball team since we've been doing this show, I think. And as of today, I'd say the optimism is pretty high for me, and it doesn't take much. And look I was in on this team going back to last week, and I just felt like it's really weird. It's just been weird. If you were to ask me one word, the word association game, if I had to do that with the San Francisco Giants and describing them this year, it's just been weird because you look at this team and you're like, those are good baseball players. I don't know why they're hitting. And yeah, Buster Posey's done some things that are questionable, and Vitello might not be perfect, but at the end of the day, these guys have got to hit the damn baseball. And if you were to ask me why they haven't, no one has an answer for it, but now they are. And the pitching is, again, maybe it's not in sync with the hitting coming around, but it's better than it has been. And I do think those two are going to marry one another, and then I think this team is going to take off a little bit. I truly believe in that.
It'd be nice. Again, it's just they just got off to such an awful start. They have so much ground to make up. And so when you say they start getting hot, I'm already, Dan, there's a part of me like, what can you do to salvage this season? I'm not thinking playoffs or anything like that. It's for me, it's, and again, I don't like this mentality here, but if you're not going to make the playoffs, then my next thing is just, what can you do to feel better about this team at the end of the year than you did at the beginning of the year? And Bryce Eldridge being in the lineup every day, that's a great way to make it happen. God, if there was some way they didn't have to pivot off of Luis Arias.
Yeah, that's really hard at this point.
June 15th, so about a week away, is when he can be traded. When you're on a one-year deal, you have to wait till June 15th to get moved. So June 15th, June 16th, that's going to be an interesting day here in Giants land. I think it's a Monday and a Tuesday, so that'll be an interesting time to find out. That's got to be the day. Well, we're 2 weeks away from that, or a week and a half away from that. That's, I think, going to tell us a lot about where this team expects to be going the rest of this season. If they still hold on to Luis Arias through that deadline, or I guess not that deadline, through that window opening where they can trade him, that would tell me that they maybe do think that there's something up with this club that they can build on, or they're working on a permutation of moves that would allow them to hold on to Luis Arias, and maybe they move off somebody else. Because you can't, with the lineup crunch that you have right now of Eldridge and Schmidt needing to be in the lineup every day, you can't have your 4 infield spots manned by veteran players on long-term contracts. That that's just going to make a roster issue, a roster problem they have now, even worse.
It's really difficult to see him walk right now because he's so much fun. And I think I mentioned this last week when I was talking to you, is that the thing, maybe this is why I'm personally invested in this team. They're so, to me, this team is entertaining to watch. Like,
it's wild to say for a team that's this bad.
I will watch Jung Hoo Lee at bats. There's just something, there's a flair there. There's something to, and again, with Devers and that bat held high and his foot in the bucket, I watched that. That's enjoyable to me. And Arise might be the most exciting at bat in Major League Baseball. It reminds me of Ricky Henderson, all the gyrations he's got going on at the plate. And if you're not watching Bryce Eldridge come to the plate at 6'7" with those stirrups and not knowing, and the fact that this guy is barreling everything up, I mean, you're not alive, man. And again, if you were to compare this to, Mitch Haniger and J.D. Davis and Conforto, I mean, those teams
Peterson era
were bad and boring. There's something I like the makeup of this baseball team, and maybe that's where it's at. I want them to play better, and I think it's there. And so losing Arise, not only do you lose a good second baseman and your best hitter, obviously, but you also lose a lot of that. He's sort of like, you enjoy.
He's part of what makes the engine go.
Team. Yeah, but he's also entertaining in a weird way.
Oh, yeah.
You like his at-bats because it's like, you're so into it, dude. Like, it's one of those things, like, there's some guys that can sell tickets. Like, Ichiro was the best at it back in to me, back in the day. But there's some guys that you'll just go out if the team's playing poorly and say, well, at least I get to see Arise four times at the plate, He's one of those dudes. So it's really, really difficult to move off on him.
Yeah, he is. Luis Arias, to me, I call him the breath of fresh air. Dan, the thing I always say about him, 10-10, no notes, just being perfect. Like, I have not been able to complain about Luis Arias once this year. He has been not only at everything that he was advertised to be, but he has been better than he ever could have been advertised to be. He's been one of my favorite Giants that's ever come through here in an incredibly short period of time, just because he's just the consistency of being able to whack the ball to all parts of the field. Again, I've said it numerous times, if he was around during like 2008 to 2015 in that era of baseball, he would have had gobs of cash thrown at him during a time when contact hitting was very much in vogue. In this era of power hitting and launch angles, he's kind of looked at as a throwback there. I agree with you. It would suck to see him go, but you got to be realistic about what this team is. If this team is not going to compete for a playoff spot this year, it doesn't make sense to hold on to him. Mm-hmm. And you got to improve your future at any means necessary. Maybe you get a young pitcher back for Luis Arias that you could slot into your rotation. Maybe you get another outfielder that you can try and get in there, and maybe that makes Elliot Ramos movable. Maybe you get a couple bullpen pieces that you can slot in there right away, much the same way that the Giants got, Jose Butto back in those trades last year when they moved off of Tyler Rogers. They were able to get a guy who they were still able to put into the bullpen, and I think would have been a big part of the bullpen this year had he not had to deal with that blood clot there. So it sucks with Luis Arias. I do think there is a potential way that you can keep him. You're going to have to make some other moves to make that happen. But again, if this team is going to sustain a turnaround here.
Let me just clarify. When you say keep him and make other moves so that you can placate and satisfy this year's team, meaning Casey Schmidt and Bryce Eldridge get their at-bats. But so when you say keep him, are you also insinuating that you're going to sign him over the offseason? Or are those two separate?
Well, here, let's do this. I kind of want to maybe get into this on the other side, but we'll get into it now. When I look at the roster as is and kind of what the big fix is, obviously, Luis Arias makes the most sense to move off because he's playing really well. You can get a big return for him, and he's on a one-year deal. The move I think they need to make, though, and it sucks for saying that after he had such a great day yesterday, I think the guy you trade right now is Matt Chapman. And this isn't about being in or out on Matt Chapman.
Trade,
I know, and that's going to be a fun thing for them to negotiate here. I'm not going to negotiate his no-trade clause on these airwaves. I'll let Buster and Matt handle that. But let's set the no-trade clause aside for a second right now. This isn't even being in or out on Matt Chapman as a baseball player. Again, he's 33 years old. He's got $100 million left on his deal for the next 5 years. My guess is I don't think he has, in the next 5 years, I don't think he's going to have a best year of his career. I think we are seeing the downward trajectory of his career whatever that ends up looking like. He could still be a very good player at his position, even as he is declining. So this isn't about I want to trade Matt Chapman because of a performance thing. Just from a roster construction standpoint, it makes the most sense because he's kind of unintentionally creating a bit of a bottleneck. Dan, what do we want to see from this team every year, every day? We want to see Casey Schmidt in the lineup every day. We want to see Bryce Eldridge in the lineup every day. What's complicating that right now is Matt Chapman being in the lineup because he's a guy that, again, you trust his defense and you trust that his bat will come around. But if you take him out at third base, it relieves so many roster jams. Casey Schmidt now slides into third base, a position that he's very, very good at. It keeps Elliot Ramos in left field.
Position.
Yeah, it's his natural position. You got Elliot Ramos now in left field, which say what you will about his defense. It's his natural position. But because at some point Ramos is going to come back. But then it also it's makes it super easy to keep Bryce Eldridge in that DH spot every day. Or you flip him with Rafi every now and then to get Eldridge some reps at first base. By just taking Matt Chapman and sending him elsewhere, it makes your team, I think, it makes the roster breathe a little bit better, or just it relaxes the roster a little bit, the roster crunch a little bit, that you don't have to pull your hair out trying to get all these guys into the lineup here, and you can get them into positions that they're best suited for. It would suck to move off Matt Chapman in that sense, but because I do think there are intangibles in the clubhouse that he brings. I know a lot of Giants fans want him out right now. He's kind of become the new poster boy for Giants fans' ire right now.
So then are you re-signing Arise?
Yeah, so then after you move Matt Chapman, I think the Yankees are a great fit for him. They got Ryan McMahon at third base right now, who's not been performing very well. They acquired him from the Rockies last year. And McMahon's got another year left on his deal there, so it might be a like-for-like swap, Chapman for McMahon, and Giants would have to absorb that, which would suck, but you wouldn't feel compelled to play McMahon every day, or maybe you reroute him elsewhere. But then, then you sign Luis Arias long-term, and then you got Schmidt, Adames, Arias, Devers, and Eldridge as your infield DH for the rest of the year and the foreseeable future, though.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risky proposition because Arise is I want to say he's in the late 20s, 29?
He's 28 years old, I believe.
So
he's a year older than Schmidt.
This is his deal.
He's in the prime of his career right now.
So he and his agent are gearing up for the deal to set him up for the rest of his career. In other words, you're looking at another long-term deal.
He's not a Scott Boras guy, is he, Risotto?
Doesn't matter.
Is he? I don't know.
Is he Scott Boras or Arise?
What was that?
Is Luis Arias a Scott Boras guy?
He is not a Scott Boras guy.
Okay, so that'll help. But Scott Boras loves getting his guys a free agency.
He's going to look. He is looking. He's at that age where he's not taking a team-friendly deal. He's not taking a 1 or 2 year deal. He's in his late 20s. This is it. Like, he's playing well this year so that he can set his family up, or he can set himself up for the rest of his career. So he's going to look for upwards to 5 to 6 years, and it's going to be pricey. Yeah. And I would say the one area where the San Francisco Giants have some talent is in the middle of the infield at that minor league level. And so at some point,
that's a good point.
You talk about the log jam, that you talk about backing things up with Matt Chapman, you could be looking at that potentially if you were to sign him to a long-term deal.
Yeah, and that would probably be further down the line because, again, this is the other point. You make a good point, Dan, that kind of pokes a hole in my plan here. Because at some point, Willy Adames is not going to be able to play shortstop anymore. That's a reality that I kind of been trying to ignore for the last few months, but it's kind of obvious with his defense and his range. At some point, he's probably going to have to move to second base, which will make that more difficult. The reason Adames fits right now is because the Giants just don't have any other better options at shortstop. I mean, maybe you could try Oslevis Basabe. No one's banging on the table for him. I don't like Casey Schmidt at short, though he can play it. So Willie is going to serve a purpose at short for the next couple of years. But I guess in a sense, yeah, that will be kicking your roster crunch down the road a little bit. But
you mentioned Casey Schmidt. I think we sort of take it for granted how we asked this dude to play so many. We talked about third base, and we sort of forget that that's his natural position because he's learned so many different positions. Sammy, not at the minor league level, but at the majors.
Well, yeah, he's on the All-Star ballot, obviously, and that came out this last week. He's listed as a DH.
Yeah.
Casey, I think, absolutely deserves to be in the All-Star game this year.
He'll be a reserve.
He's played well enough. I don't know, Dan, because again, he's listed as a DH. You're stuck behind
that's a loaded.
You got the greedy gambler, Shohei Ohtani. You got Kyle Schwarber in there. Juan Soto is on the ballot as a DH. So those are three guys, they're always going to be in the mix for an all-star spot. Then you get into the DHs that are actually having also really good years as well around the National League before you get to Casey Schmidt. So it's an uphill battle for Casey Schmidt. He's got to get Hunter Goodwin for the Rockies. He's having a pretty solid year, as we saw last Friday night. He's listed as a DH, even though he's a catcher. Liam Hicks is having a pretty good year with the Marlins right now. Drake Baldwin is leading your NL DHs in WAR right now at 2.2. He's got 13 home runs, hitting 303 on the year. Casey Schmidt is stuck in a very, very deep DH pool now.
But to my point, at the major league level, he was asked to play second base. He never played second base before. Mm-hmm. But he's doing it at the majors. And don't forget, last year, they said, hey, can you play first base? He said,
that too.
All right. Yeah. You're going to have to do it at the major league level. And now, he got to left field.
Go to left field. And honestly, he's doing not bad. And what's even great about him in left field is you have his arm in left field. I mean, you got a third baseman's arm in left field. The Giants' defense in left, I think it's actually, dare I say, I don't want to take a shot at Ramos here, but it almost feels a little bit better in left.
That's not saying a lot.
I know. I don't know what.
He did this at San Diego State because he played third base and he also closed.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was like all over the place. He's amazing.
I interviewed Casey his rookie year for Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys, and I know we're up against Rizzo. We'll get to a second. And I asked him, hey, you pitched in college. Would you ever want to get in the game as like a mop-up duty? He couldn't even answer because Gabe Kapler was walking by. It's like, nope, never going to happen. And we laughed about that one. But, maybe one day we'll see him. Hopefully the Giants don't need a position pitcher, player to pitch the rest of the way. On the other side, Dan, I do want to talk a little bit about the week that Matt Chapman had. Because it started off with him talking to Susan Slusser about a lot of social media hate he's gotten. And it ended with him getting 8 RBIs. What a week for Matt Chapman. All that more on the other side, brought to you by Fairmont Bank, here for you, here for good.
SF Fire Credit Union is celebrating 75 years to put your idle cash to work. It's their new 7-month tiered certificate, starting with as little as $250. Members earn 7.5% APY on the first $3,000 for the first 90 days. Then 4% APY on the full balance for the remainder of the 7-month term. Visit sffirecu.org for full details. Early withdrawal penalties may apply. This institution is not federally insured. The credit union is not insured by any state government. Privately insured by ASI. Up to $250,000 per account.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add 1 line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery, staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation, and neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. If the rice ain't with it, then it ain't right. Yo, what it do? It's your boy Pilo, and I'm out here with Senior Sisig. If you know, you know. These guys been serving up Filipino flavor and repping the Bay for the last 15 years. Whether you're cruising through San Francisco, headed to the game, or just looking to grub, tap in with Senior Sisig and make sure you try my special collab item, Pilo Sinigang Wings. If the rice ain't with it, then it ain't right. Sisig, 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 Sisig.
With increasing summer temperatures, this is a good time to replace your home siding, decking, and fencing. Golden State Lumber and Showroom works closely with contractors to keep your home protected. AZEK Exteriors offers outstanding durability, is easy to install, and protects against fire and dry rot. And TimberTech Advanced PVC Decking has a Class A fire rating and is backed by industry-leading warranties. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com for products that increase the value of your home. Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Let's find out. Chapman out to left center field. And it is gone into the basket. Another one. 6-0 Giants. This is remarkable.
Slam can Cisco, baby!
Chapman down the left field line. Crushed it. And gone. And only the sign kept it from going out onto Waveland. 16-0. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this.
Oh my goodness. That was awesome.
Now back to the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap on 95.7 The Game.
Wow. Oh, Hunter Pence and Dave Fleming on the call there. Slam can Cisco.
Hunter Pence sounds like a WWE guy.
Yeah. baby, that away, baby. He was he brought the Yes movement to San Francisco in 2014. It was like Tyler Colvin too, but I don't. You obviously know what the Yes movement is with Daniel Bryan. And
This is Dan Devone saying, all right.
But so yeah, I could definitely see Hunter definitely was like, I don't know if Hunter has siblings, but if he did, he's definitely doing wrestling moves on them when they were kids growing up.
He just sounds like he's got that. He's got it down.
Well, again, the yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was
Daniel
one of my favorite moments in Giant history was when he brought that whole thing to the Giants, and I think that Daniel Bryan at the first playoff game that year do the yes movement with them. So it kind of was a full circle movement there. Yeah, I'm sure you ran into Daniel Bryan at one point.
He was a vegetarian. The only WWE vegetarian. He and I. Well, I'm not a vegetarian, I'm a pescatarian, but he was. It was part of his shtick. I don't know if that was necessarily true, but yeah, he was a very healthy eater.
Interesting. I would not have pegged him to be a vegetarian, but I was he had to retire because he had to get like neck surgery or something. He ended up ever figuring out a way to come back.
I've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
I can't even remember who was the girl he had the romantic interest in. AJ.
Ooh, AJ. Okay,
do you remember AJ?
My name recognition does. There was the only time I actually really watched wrestling in my life was my junior year of college. One of my roommates was really into it, so I would kind of, just watch it with him just because, he had control of the TV, so why not? And, I enjoyed a little bit of it, but yeah, it was the Daniel Bryan segments and whenever Roman Reigns and The Shield came out. I always enjoyed whatever's going on in those storylines. I do think I remember watching
AJ Lee. That was.
Remember watching the storyline. I think when the rest of the Shield turned on Roman Reigns, and Roman ended up kind of going off to do his own thing. At that point, that's like the most notable wrestling moment I think I can think of.
Roman Reigns has got a Hawaii tie. He's a Hawaii boy.
Yeah, he's in all the movies with The Rock now. Yeah. He's kind of following in that vein there. Again, it's the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap. Myself, Sam Lubman, alongside here, Dan Devone.
Have you been to Wrigley, by the way?
I have actually been, not for a game. I was actually just about to ask you that. Was it 2019? I went out to Chicago for a 4th of July weekend. The Cubs weren't in town. I went out with my friend Kevin, and we saw a game at Guaranteed Rate Field on the 4th. And I think I've said on this show how much I just find that to be the worst ballpark in all of America. But we did a tour at Wrigley Field. So, they took us to the stands. You got to go in the clubhouses, the press box. You got to go on the field. You got to touch the ivy. And, of course, you got to touch that. Awesome. They don't want you to touch the ivy, but you're going to touch the ivy. And I tried to be a bad person. I tried to, steal one of the leaves from the ivy, but they take care of that ivy really well. It was hard to kind of pull one of those leaves off there. And, of course, if you make noise and they catch you, they're probably going to execute you on site or something like that. But so I've only done a tour there. I haven't taken it a game at Wrigley Field. How about you?
Yeah, no, I've been a few times. You got to go to a game. It's real deal. Because they were so bad for so long, pre-2016, before winning that World Series, the curse, right? And so it was just sort of like another bar on the north side. It was a place where you would just socially gather. Almost kind of like what Oracle has sort of weirdly morphing into. It's
they have a little baseball village there with Wrigleyville, which, it's a great setup there with all the bars they got around that ballpark.
Yeah, but it just reminds me when I was watching, the Giants, who were drawing so well for a team that's been so bad, but it's because I think there's a lot of social gathering. This is let's just go out and it's a business meeting. Let's go out to Oracle, get some business done. We'll watch the Bay, have a beer, and talk a little bit. It has that vibe to it. Mm-hmm. It's the team, but it's also just sort of a thing to do, if you will.
Well, it's kind of more of a neighborhood hangout spot because it is kind of more in the suburbs of Chicago.
North side, yeah.
On the north side, and the suburbs. Got to take the train out there to get there.
It's called Wrigley. Wrigleyville is literally a neighborhood. So if you lived in Chicago on the north side, and you could, the Marina, Pacific Heights, there's Wrigleyville.
Okay.
So it's all bars, all these little bars, great food, as, Chicago, renowned for its food.
Great hot dogs.
Italian beef sandwiches. Yeah, so when I was there, I, too, got an opportunity to go on the field. I went to a game against the Cardinals, and after the game, me and my buddies got a chance to go and stand at home plate, which was pretty cool. Yeah. And I also made a point of it, Potts, so you might appreciate this, that we tried to get Bartman seats, but those things are always sold out. I wanted to sit Bartman has. Well, we did go sit in the legendary seats, and there's a little marking where Bartman.
Yeah, so we got to go on the field, obviously, as I said, and we got to go by home plate. And so, of course, you have to get in the batter's box. I got on the left side, and I point out at center field, you know,
Ruth.
I'm going to knock this down your throat. You know, you got to stand in the spot that Babe Ruth stood in. And, there's the Bartman seats. You know the seats I would actually like to sit in at Wrigley, and you had 3 people in those seats yesterday, but the seats that Ferris Bueller, Cameron, and Sloan sat in the movie, which this is really cool yesterday. So yesterday was 41 years to the day that the Cubs game that Ferris, Cam, and Sloan attended happened 41 years ago yesterday. So you know the part where Mr. Rooney's at the bar and there's the game on TV where Ferris catches the foul ball. Like that game was 41 years ago yesterday. Wow. And so they had 3 people. There was 3 people. I don't know if they were in on it or what, sitting in that exact same area. One guy was wearing the Red Wings jersey. Another guy was wearing the leopard vest. The girl was wearing the white cardigan. And they were kind of, 41 years to the day recreating the famous Ferris Bueller scene, with, hey, bada, swing, bada, Kennedy.
So, so there used to be the seats that you could sit, because you used to be able to access you could watch the game from one of the rooftops, and then they stopped that, and they actually now charge for that, where you can go up there and you can watch the game. I've always wanted to go up there because you can sort of lounge out and it's on the
Actually, there's a legal battle with that happening right now.
Is that right?
There's a legal battle. The apartments across the street, or I don't know what they are, they're the business across the street that gives that service, they are not associated with the Cubs or Wrigley Field at all.
Yeah.
So there's currently a battle because I guess people were... the Cubs want those ticket sales.
Yeah.
And it's basically you're giving access to people to watch a game, and
it's their product.
And there's a legal battle that's happening right now.
I want to say, so that's Waveland Avenue is left field, and so that's
Sheffield is right, yeah.
Is it Addison or Clark, or is it what is it?
I thought Sheffield is outside of beyond right field.
Gary Sheffield?
Sheffield.
Something like that.
Not Gary.
Oh, okay. That'd be funny if it was, though.
No. Obviously. Yeah, he was never a Cub.
But those bleachers out in left field. It's always you got to do one game, in the stadium, one game in those seats outside there. I feel like Wrigley there's so many different ways to
probably
to experience
the greatest vibe walking into a stadium to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you could feel the years in it when you walk in.
No, I mean, so this is why you got to go on game days. When you're walking in, there's just an energy, because there's all these bars. It's palpable. Like, I can't really put it into words, but walking into Wrigley, it's just like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Okay. No, I mean, again, it's definitely on my bucket list of ballparks get to a game at. Again, I feel very fortunate just to have been inside it at any one point, even for the tour, because you get to see so much. And they take you into the visiting clubhouse and how
so
tiny
right?
It's so small.
Old and small.
Like,
yeah.
I'm sitting in this little tiny clubhouse, like, man, Barry Bonds used to sit in this thing. Like,
so
Babe Ruth sat in this thing. Like, it is a very old clubhouse.
It reminds you of just like when these things were built, Pasta. It's crazy. And to me, I'm a little claustrophobic, and thankfully, I don't have earthquakes in that part of the world, but I'm like, this is not for me.
There's a couple. It's still one of the ballparks that has an obstructed view.
Yeah.
It's funny. You go and find one of the seats, and you sit behind a pole, and you're just like, people would live like this in 1942.
Right.
The concourse is where you definitely see it, because the concourse is like, nowadays concourses are just so exorbitant.
Yeah.
It's a little bit narrow. It's almost like a spring training ballpark in a sense, because again, it's so old, and they've refurbished it a little bit. That's one of those ballparks that, like it in Fenway, it gets to a point where it's been around for so long you can't get rid of it, and you can't ever replace Wrigley. You can't ever replace Fenway Park. Another one that I haven't been to Fenway yet. How many ballparks have you been to?
Not that many. Maybe 10, 15, I guess.
Well, not many. Only half of them.
Oh, no.
Do you think you can name them all, or?
Nah. I don't know.
I've been to all the California ballparks. I've been to both Yankee stadiums, Guaranteed Rate Field, and I've been to, I guess you could say, both of the Marlins home stadium.
What did you think of Yankee Stadium?
The old Yankee Stadium was great.
Right.
The concourse was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
That was, I doubt it, one of the worst concourses in all of baseball. It was built back, obviously, in 1923 when everybody was like 5'4" and 130 pounds. So you didn't need as much space back then. Americans are much larger nowadays.
that now than they were back then.
The new one is so corporate, man.
It really, there was a coldness. It felt like I'm walking into a bank.
Yeah.
But still a beautiful stadium on the inside.
Yeah, no, well, it's just basically the same stadium. It's just like all the new additions are just to placate the clubs, the money, the people with money.
It's a shinier version of the old one for sure. But when you're in the new one though, you look around, and again, for me, I'd only been to the old one once. I've been to the new one once. So I'm sure there's a Yankee fan who's listening to this right now, either on the radio or on the free Odyssey app, who's gonna recoil at what I say. When I'm in there, it's just like I could barely tell a difference when you're just kind of looking around. Granted, this is years ago that I was there, so I'm sure if I went more often to both stadiums, I would be able to tell the difference. But from my inexperienced perspective, it was like, wow, it's like slight aesthetic differences, but it definitely felt like
No, it's essentially the same stadium. They modified it, but there's not wholesale changes. They couldn't do that. The monuments are still there.
Yeah. So there's a lot that is the same.
Dimensions are the same.
And the ballpark that I've been to that I think gets the least amount of love but deserves more is Marlins Park or Lone Depot Park as it's called now. It's a shame that everything about the product there sucks. I love that ballpark. The Clevelander out in left field, though I think it's been changed a little bit. That was a great experience.
The Clevelander. Is that bar still there?
I think it's something else now. I think Derek Jeter changed a bunch of things with that organization, so I don't think it's a nightclub anymore.
I stayed at the Clevelander. It's right on Miami Beach, right?
Yeah. No, so I've been to the Clevelander a couple times out in Miami Beach. That was a great time to have. That was one of my favorite bars my dad and I would frequent whenever he would come out to visit. But that was you're sitting in the Clevelander at Marlins Park.
Wait, I want to say the Clevelander, when you check in, the front desk is a bar.
Yeah, well, when you come in, when you walk into the hotel, the whole outdoor bar is right there.
Right there, right?
You got the pool right there, too. So it's such a Miami feel when you walk by the Clevelander. So they brought that into the ballpark, and it's just, I'm watching a baseball game happen. There's guys warming up in the bullpen, and then there's a showgirl getting body painted right next to the swimming pool. It's just the old head in me hates this. But also, no, this is how every baseball game should be.
That's awesome.
They got a really cool tribute to the Orange Bowl there, obviously, because they demolished the Orange Bowl and desecrated that land by putting Marlins Park there. But it's a very nice ballpark, just built in absolutely the wrong part of Miami.
Where's Joe Robbie?
Joe Robbie, Sun Life, Land Shark, now Hard Rock Stadium. That's about a 45-minute drive north of Miami, depending on traffic. And, I got to one Marlins game there, and holy Lord, that was a depressing experience there. So let's get back onto the Giants, though. 888-957-9570 is the number to call or text in. We take any and all Giants takes on this show. I want to talk about the week that Matt Chapman had because it was kind of rough at the start, better yesterday. Tony V, what do you say about Matt Chapman's day yesterday?
It was incredible, and it was kind of one of those things I could infer based off what you were saying and another conversation we had with media that it's kind of a matter of time or you see it coming. Again, his maybe came in a little bit different fashion, but you could see the build with the swings. You hear his comments in the dugout. It's coming, and, how he feels. And then to do it in the park, if I'm not mistaken, the only park he had not hit a home run in, and made it twice as nice. So it was a tremendous day for him. And I know at times as a team leader, you want to feel like you're pulling your weight just as much physically as you are verbally because he's really good at that stuff. Heck, even mound visits in the middle of a game, he's really good on the verbal side of leadership. But he helps us every single day become a different team with his glove at third. And by the end of the year, he's going to be the offensive player on the back of his baseball card that he always has been.
So the Giants, again, they still have a lot of faith in what Matt Chapman can bring to the table. I want to talk about the leadership aspect of him, though, because he is one of the leaders on this team, Dan. And I think part of the reason why this season has been so frustrating for him, so frustrating for Giants fans towards him, is because we know what to expect from him. We know he is one of the leaders in this clubhouse. We know he's one of the more dependable bats on this team. And when the bat isn't there, obviously we're going to side-eye him more than we would for other guys. And it got to the point where it was so bad for him this year that he talked to Susan Slusser earlier this week about some of the vitriol he's gotten from fans. And listen, I don't crush players as much as I used to. That happens when you have to go into the clubhouse with them. You're going to crush them in different ways, much softer ways, I guess, so to speak. I'm not going to say Matt Chapman sucks. What I will say is Matt Chapman has not been playing up to his expectations. But fans, obviously, they could take it a different direction. And he's told Susan Slusser, yeah, it's bad. He said before Sunday's game at Coors Field, I had to get off social media, stop looking at it. But it seems like only the negative stuff finds you. You should see my DMs. It's people saying, I hope your family dies. People threaten us all the time. I just block in whatever. I don't make a big deal about it, but it's just not cool. I would never do that to anybody. We all get frustrated with players. That's part of the name of the game. They know it. That's always just taking it too far for me. When you're DMing guys just in general, I mean, first off, they shouldn't be reading it. But when you're DMing stuff like that, that's just taking it to a whole new level of crazy right there.
Yeah, I guess that's where it would start for me is why would you be reading that stuff, especially if you're in a funk? I mean, it's only going to be bad. For a guy who doesn't do a lot of social media for that very reason, I just don't understand what the rationale would be behind that. If that whatever it is that you're going to see is not going to be good.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting this on him. It's obviously not a bozo who wrote that, but I mean, Matt as a veteran should know a little better.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not look at it, though, I think, just when you're in that mode. I mean, there's times where, I know I'm probably going to get yelled at for something stupid that I said, and I'll still look at the comments. I mean, part of it is, I do try to steel myself to them. A few weeks ago, I put out, the thing that people have been getting pissed about me the most is anytime I say anything about Brandon Ayuk. If I throw out on Brandon on Instagram a few weeks ago, there was this video of me saying the Niners should just let Brandon Ayuk go. This is stupid. Stop holding him hostage. I got a lot of flack from that one from all of our fine Niner fans online saying I'm an idiot, I don't know anything, and this is great what the Niners doing to Ayuk. Someone slid into my DMs and expressed disappointment that I even had that take. And just wow, okay, I didn't think people felt that strongly about it. That's tame on the overall scale of it. But yeah, there is a level of just you want to steel yourself to it, I guess, a little bit. But again, when he's at that level, I mean, yeah, obviously you want to stay away from it. But, it's just the season he's had, it's been rough, obviously. The part of me that wonders about this season, again, you hear Tony talk about the leadership part of it. I think we kind of brushed it off maybe a little bit when it first happened, the beginning of the year, when he told Casey, hey, catch the bleeping ball.
Yeah.
That was in San Diego the second week of the year. It was the first road trip of the year. And the Giants, they were off to a bad start. I think they were 3-8 at the time, but the Giants weren't awful yet. And Matt Chapman wasn't having an awful season yet. And I do wonder how much that moment factors into how fans have looked at him this year, because ever since that moment, his season has just gone, Matt Chapman's that is, has just gotten off the cliff to start. Whereas Casey has just skyrocketed into the stratosphere while not being able to play the position that he's best at in third base because Matt Chapman's there. I do wonder how all that factors in terms of just the fan ire that Giants fans have towards Matt Chapman.
So do you think that fans are maybe juxtaposing those two or aligning the success of Casey Schmidt and the failure of Matt Chapman?
I do think
originating from that one in exchange.
I do wonder how much that plays into it, because I mean, it's just when you see a guy like him who's so established, who's looking down on Casey, it's hey man, pick your stuff up. And then since then, Casey's done all of that and more, and then Matt's flailing on offense and on defense. There is a level of, well, hold on, you're getting on him. Maybe you should be more focused on getting on yourself maybe a little bit. I just wonder how much that plays into how Giants fans have been, doing their own little evaluations of Matt Chapman and the season that he has had so far.
My interpretation is I kind of liked it because it's you hear about leaders, but can today's players really call out their teammates? And the fact that he had the cojones, whether you like it or not, to actually do that, I was wow, okay, that is a leader. It may not, maybe a little bit harsh, but that is, that's something that you hear about, but you don't see very often. So, good for him.
But yeah, and I do think also it comes down to the fact, I agree with you on that one. That's why I say at the time, that's Matt's job, is to tell the younger guys, hey, shape up a little bit. But at the same time, I think Giants fans.
Somebody asked you because Vitello's not.
Well, at least not publicly like that. But at the same time, Casey versus Matt, if you ask Giants fans who you're throwing your hat into the ring with here, Matt Chapman or Casey Schmidt, most Giants fans probably got to pick Casey Schmidt. He's the homegrown guy. He's the future guy. Matt Chapman, I mean, he was the free agent acquisition. It's
Giants fans, I felt like there's always more of a loyalty to their own players, their homegrown players, than out-of-town players. I think that's just a Bay Area thing in general. I mean, this is the region that couldn't even fully embrace Kevin Durant, one of the greatest free agent signings ever in Bay Area sports history. And there are still Warrior fans who are like, no, I don't want that guy here for some weird reason. Chapman obviously isn't Kevin Durant, but yeah, it's when you're an outsider, I think it's harder to kind of wrap your arms around some of these guys. That's why I think Willy Adames is kind of in that same situation. It's just, I don't want to say mercenary kind of type players, but you know, they're not from here. So like, we're not going to embrace you in that same way. We're not going to give you that same kind of leeway that maybe other players will get. And on the other side, Dave Fleming was, we asked him about that the other day when he joined the Morning Roast. He kind of thinks that Matt Chapman has earned some of that leeway. Maybe we can get into that on their side. Has Matt Chapman earned leeway from this Giants fan base? Should he have some leeway from this Giants fan base? 888-957-9570 is the number to call or text. That's Dan Devone. I'm Sam Lullman. We'll keep this Matt Chapman conversation going on the other side. It's brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get ready for Jim Gaffigan and his Everything is Wonderful tour on June 13th and 14th at the Masonic. A 4th show was just added. Buy your tickets at LiveNation.com. And for a chance to win tickets to the 4 p.m. show, courtesy of Live Nation, visit 957thegame.com.
Wow, what is all this? These screens, the food.
All for the game, bro.
Let us pitch in.
No need. I'm saving $1,000 bundling my wireless and internet with T-Mobile. I've got it all covered.
Goal! Here to score big with T-Mobile. Families save up to $1,000 a year when they bundle 5G home internet with 4 phone lines on Experience Beyond. Compared to regular rates after third line free on Experience Beyond plan with internet bundle discount via monthly bill credits and auto-pay discount. Credit stop if you cancel or change plans.
Looking for something fun and free to do midweek? Come explore Welcome In Wednesdays at History Park. Brought to you by History San Jose. Every Wednesday through August, step inside one of our historic buildings, shop unique local finds at the gift shop, and enjoy the charm of this beautiful open-air museum and park. All for free. Take a walk through time at Welcome In Wednesdays, only at History Park, located in Kelly Park at 1650 Center Road. Visit historysanjose.org for details. That's historysanjose.org.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, add 1 line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to Top Rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
You know the feeling. It's 2 a.m. You're awake, running the numbers in your head. Payroll's coming. A client hasn't paid. Costs just went up. And you're thinking, how am I going to make this work? That's where LendSeek comes in.
That was me. I had payroll in 3 days and money tied up in receivables. I couldn't wait weeks for a bank. I went to LendSeek, and within minutes, I saw real funding options. They were clear, upfront, no games. By the next day, the money was in my account. Payroll went out, crisis over.
LendSeek uses AI to match your business with the right funding, up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours.
With LendSeek, it's not just funding, it's knowing you're covered when things get tight.
If you've been in business for at least 1 year with at least $500,000 annual revenue, apply today. No upfront costs, no prepaid penalties, because in business, waiting isn't an option. Start ready, stay ready with LendSeek. Apply at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Hey, baseball fans, want to turn your good deed into game day? This June, donate blood with Stanford Blood Center and score 2 free tickets to see the San Francisco Giants in action. No batting average required, just a little time and a big heart. In about an hour, you can help save lives, and we'll send you to the ballpark to celebrate. So grab a friend, roll up your sleeve, and make it a double play. Help patients in need and catch a Giants game at Oracle Park. Visit StanfordBloodCenter.org to book your appointment today. Stanford Blood Center, where heroes win big.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
2-pitch. Gilbert will be off and running. There he goes. Schmidt blasts one to left field. Headed for the bleachers. Gone. Casey Schmidt. 8-0 Giants. It helps at Wrigley where they like to throw it back. Schmidt. Deep left. Gone.
Now back to the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap on 95.7 The Game.
So we played 6 of the home runs so far, so we still got one more from Jonah Cox off of the Cubs catcher who was throwing I didn't see the name
How
of
about
the guy.
Jonah Cox? His first major league hit?
Off a catcher.
Off a position player.
Yeah, I think, the first hit and first home run are off position players. He had 2 hits in an inning, in the 6th inning, before he even played in the field.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, Jonah Cox has had some very interesting starts.
So is he in a platoon now in center field with Drew?
I guess. I don't know really what they're kind of doing with promoting him like they did. I mean, obviously they need bodies right now. Oliva's out, Bader's out, Ramos is out. And I think
they never do that. Skip AAA.
Well, they did with Wade Meckler a couple years ago. That was more of a panic move. I think this was more of they don't really like any of their other outfielder options. I mean, Grant McRae is also hurt, so that's going to be a part of it as well. So it's just, I think it's just some fact of like, Barracoto isn't a center fielder. He's going to be in the corners. I think we've seen enough of Will Brennan. And so it's just kind of like by process of elimination with how many guys are down right now, I guess Jonah Cox is the guy.
I like speed, man.
No, it's again, we'll see how he looks so far. He's had some good moments. He's had some bad moments. Again, he's got a bit of a runway here to make some things happen. So hopefully he can start getting more hits and home runs against actual pitchers than
position players. 888-957-9570 is the number to call or text. We take any and all Giants takes on this show. It is the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap. Sam Lum and Dan Devone. And let's go out the line here and talk to one of our favorites, Bobby in Los Altos. Bobby, how you doing today, man? You're on the Wrap.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Look, I do want to talk about, we'll start with the Giants thing. Look, I'm a big believer in small ball, as you know, lover boy, in small ball at Oracle. I think Arise, I think he's worth signing. I'd be more concerned if Arise played shortstop because of, potentially Johnny Level maybe making noise in the majors at some point. But he plays second base. I don't really see anyone that I'm concerned about, at least, him taking a spot. Obviously, that bat don't lie. He's not a power hitter, obviously, but he's going to give you 300, right? And his defense has been incredible. So I'm a big fan of that. Signing him, Adames is the one that I keep thinking is going to become a doubles machine, but maybe it just won't happen. Maybe he just doesn't fit this stadium. And like I said, who knows? Everyone's all lathered up about Johnny Level coming up in a couple of years, who also plays shortstop, I believe. But I got something for you, question for you, Love Man, and then I got something for Devone as well. So look, of all of the people, producers and radio hosts on the station, I think you have the most irrational hatred for the Dodgers of everybody, but I need to
really
just address this with you.
Can you irrationally hate? Can you irrationally hate the axis of evil?
Okay, well, let's find out.
I prove your point right there.
Here's your test, brother. Okay, look, I'm a Giants fan, and I don't care for the Dodgers, but I'm the biggest Shohei Ohtani fan there is.
Oh, Bobby, you're breaking my heart.
So I need you on the air right now to admit that he is the greatest player of all time. The brother, his ERA is less than half of the Philadelphia guy. The only reason he doesn't show up on the stats is Mattingly. He's always one inning short of qualifying for that stat. But his ERA is less than half of, what's his name, Sanchez?
Christopher Sanchez.
Right? The brother is hitting 300, and his OPS is like 1,000. So tell me right now, say it on the air, Shohei Ohtani is the greatest of all time.
I mean, he's probably the best player in baseball right now. To say all time, though.
He is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, thank you for the call, Bobby. Here's my thing on Shohei.
Wait, you got a question for me?
Oh, shoot. Bobby, call back and ask Dan his question. Sorry. Bobby, call back. Call back. You don't usually do this.
Joking. Go ahead, Dan.
Here's my thing with Shohei.
No, he's the greatest of all time. I'm going to cut you off.
Can he, Steiny left his glasses here. I kind of put those on because I feel like I'm going to be like Steiny when I do this. I'm going to do it. Steiny's glasses.
Those aren't Steiny's.
Aren't these Steiny's glasses?
No, he has those big things. He has those like fish bowls.
Are these Willards then? Hey, brother, I'm going to tell you why Shohei is not the greatest. I'm smarter than you.
I don't know whose glasses those are, but I'm assuming
I thought
they don't want them anymore now.
You know why? Because I wore them. Here's my thing with Shohei. Can you really be the greatest of all time when I don't know if he's really the greatest at anything? Home run hitting. Is he the greatest home run hitter of all time?
Sammy,
I think I might take Barry Bonds as a home run hitter.
This is a losing argument.
Is he the greatest contact hitter of all time? Dan, I don't even know if he's the best contact hitter to come out of Japan. You've seen a better contact hitter from Japan. Is he the best fielder of all time? No, he doesn't play the field. Is he the best base stealer of all time? He's a great base stealer. But there's a guy who came out of Oakland by the name of Ricky Henderson. I think he's a better base stealer than Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Has he got the best arm? I don't know. Again, doesn't play the field. So,
well, I think he has the best arm.
As a fielder, I don't know. I'd probably take. I'd honestly take Ichiro's arm in the outfield before I take Shohei Ohtani. He's the best pitcher of all time. And you listen, pitching as a position player, that is impressive. But honestly, Dan, I don't even think he's the best Dodger pitcher in my lifetime because I'm gonna give that to Clayton Kershaw. Are you telling me that it's Game 7 of the World Series? You have a chance of Shohei or Greg Maddux? You're gonna take Shohei? No, Greg Maddux is. He's one of the most elite pitchers of all time. I'm not putting Shohei in Greg Maddux territory. So am I going to sit here and say that Shohei is the greatest of all time when he's not the best at anything? It's kind of hard for me to say he's the greatest at everything. That's where I'm going to go with that one.
All right.
So, am I an irrational Giants fan for saying that? Possibly.
Yeah, I think you are.
But that's just the life I live.
That's where you live. I'm not going to even engage in this conversation.
There are Dodger fans out there who will never admit that Barry Bonds was the greatest home run hitter of all time, and that's their prerogative. They could be wrong on that. I'm going to sit here and say that Shohei Ohtani is not the greatest baseball player of all time. The only difference is I'm right and Dodger fans are wrong. Simple as that. Hey, speaking about guys who maybe aren't the greatest of all time, Matt Chapman. That felt like a drive-by right there. But again, Matt Chapman was kind of going through it. I'm curious just kind of where people are at on Matt Chapman right now. Again, he's kind of gone through a full circle week this week. He started the week off just completely lost to the plate. And now here he is the day after a career-high 8 RBIs, 2 home runs, a 3-run shot, a grand slam. We asked Dave Fleming when he joined the Morning Roast there earlier this week about the frustration and vitriol that Matt Chapman has been gotten towards fans this year. Here is what Dave had to say about that.
Matt Chapman has been one of the better players in the league while he's wearing a Giants uniform. And this hasn't been maybe the number one stretch of bit play for him in the last couple months. I think everybody knows that, especially at a couple weeks where he just, he really was not himself. But that doesn't mean that this guy hasn't done a lot of good things for the Giants. And I think his point is more like that should earn you some grace. That should earn you some time to struggle a little bit. It's not like he has struggled now for 2 years. He struggled for a month. And I agree with him about that. Like when you get a track record and you've put it on the line for a team and a fan base, there should be some more leeway when things aren't going well, because everybody, even the greatest players in the game, go through periods where they're not playing well.
So again, Dave Fleming, I thought it was kind of interesting there how he thinks that Matt Chapman's earned a little bit of leeway from this fan base for how things have gone in the last 2 years. And maybe, we shouldn't be giving him too much grief for what was really, Dan, people might be shocked to hear this, a bad 3-4 week stretch from the end of April to the middle of May. I mean, people forget, he was hitting 280 at the end of April. And he's bringing it along here over the last week and a half, a weekish here. It's really just kind of a really, really bad 3 to 4 week stretch from the end of April to about a week or two ago.
Fleming's wrong.
That's driving him down here. So you think he's wrong. So you don't think Chapman has earned that leeway?
No.
Why is that?
No player earns that leeway because it's all about what you've done for me lately. Is it rational? Mm-hmm. Is what Fleming's saying right in the perfect world? Yes. But guess what?
Yeah,
this is not the perfect world. These are about fans. And I'm always reminded, what is fan an abbreviation for?
Oh, it's my least favorite statement, but go ahead.
But it is. They're fanatical people. This is not rational people. So to apply logic to irrational people like yourself who hates the Dodgers, it's a worthless exercise. If you're not performing and I want to boo the hell out of you, I'm going to do it. And if I think you should be playing better, and if I'm frustrated, I'm going to direct all those verbal darts right at your ass. And so don't try and rationalize this. Hey, well, he's done well over the scope of his career. Give him a little... No, man, that's just not the way this works. And they know this. Fleming knows this. Anybody who signs up to do this for a living knows the nature of this beast. Come on, man. That's one of those root for the home team and support the guys no matter what's going on. Come on, dude. But this ain't 1955, and it's not Leave It to Beaver.
I look at it in two ways. One, the leeway thing, this kind of goes into what I said in the last segment. The fact that he's not a homegrown guy plays a role into this. Like, this is the fan base that barely gave Brandon Belt any leeway. And Belt was not as good of a player, I think, apples to apples as Matt Chapman. If you just look at their baseball stats without their names or rewards or anything attached to it, like Matt Chapman's baseball reference page on the whole looks better, I think, than Brandon Belt's. And I say that as a big Brandon Belt guy. But this fan base wouldn't even give him leeway. And that was your homegrown world champion first baseman. As far as the leeway thing, I do kind of disagree with Dave in the fact that, again, it's just the fact that he's not homegrown. He hasn't built up that equity. Never mind the fact that statistically he's been one of the top 8 third basemen in baseball since he's arrived here. He is still one of the best defenders at third base in this game, even as, he's had some mishaps this year. But as far as earning that leeway, I think it's tough for a free agent on a team that isn't performing well to earn that level of leeway here. That being said, on the frustration tour, like I think the frustration is absolutely warranted towards Matt. The part that kind of makes me kind of give him a benefit of the doubt, though, Dan, is I do respect guys who put the work in, very much so. Yeah. And I see him every day out in the field, like him and Luis Arias. I see them when I go to games, and Steven Risotto, if you want to pop in and corroborate this, like I see him and Arias putting the most work out in the field every day with Ron Washington. Am I right, Risotto? You see it a lot more as well. You go during the week, so.
Yeah, no, he's out there every day, and I think it's a testament because the best at their craft, they do things every day, even though he doesn't have to. He's the best defender in baseball for a long time at third base, and he still does it.
You know, this might be a little sacrilegious.
This is getting sappy.
No, this might be sacrilegious. You want sappy here. I love watching the best kind of go through their warm-ups and kind of, hone their craft and get in the groove. Like, I love going to games, to Warrior games, and watching Steph Curry warm up.
That's something different.
It's one of the best shows in basketball is watching a Steph Curry warm-up routine. This is not the same level. I want to make this clear. This is not on the exact same level. But I really do enjoy watching Matt Chapman do his infield warm-ups because you are watching one of the best at it, going through their warm-up progressions like that. And
what does he do?
A lot of ground ball work. He does a lot of these. I don't even know what these drills are called, but he'll have Wash just kind of like hit like these little like short choppers right to him. And again, a lot of stuff like that. And it's just fascinating to watch a guy just go through the same progressions every single time.
Maybe he needs to get in the cage, not the field.
I will say this, though, and then we can maybe move off this Chapman thing. I don't think there's anyone who's more pissed off at Matt Chapman this year than Matt Chapman. And that is kind of, again, I respect the work that he puts in on the field, so that kind of gives me a belief that he can turn things around. But there comes a point, Dan, where it's just like, are you in a rough spot, or are we simply seeing a guy who's 33 years old do what a lot of 33-year-olds do in baseball, which is kind of regress in their overall abilities? And that's, I wonder part of the frustration there with is like, we all Giants fans wanted this guy. Like, let's not sit here and say the Giants fans weren't banging on the table saying, when are we going to sign Chapman a couple of years ago after they hired Bob Melvin? So it's like, this again.
Who do we credit with that, Farhan or Buster?
I think Farhan brought Bob in. I think when Bob came, that made it easier to get Matt on board. But Buster's the one who locked Matt Chapman in long term. And everybody loved it when it happened. And here we are getting exactly what we want. And we're just not happy with it.
Well, he's hitting now. We got to be present, Sammy. I got to take you to the Zen Center. Be here. Be now. Forget about May.
Well, I'm kind of bringing this up now with Chapman. Like, he is hitting right now. Are we finally seeing the real Matt Chapman arrive? Because we know how hot he can get for this team. And again, don't take my word. We talked to Matt Williams earlier this week. He knows a little thing or two about playing third base, obviously. Longtime third baseman, Giants legend at the position. Let's not talk about the coaching he did there. Here's what Matt Williams had to say about the frustrations with Matt Chapman.
I understand it. I understand the fans' frustration. I would tell them this with regard to Matt. I know Matt very well. There is nobody, and I mean nobody, that has the team's best interest at heart in a greater sense than Matt Chapman. He is the ultimate team player. He wants to produce. He wants to be an important part of the team, but nobody is as frustrated as he is. So I get it. Part of the game, and it's part of it. He wants to please the fan base. He wants to please everybody that walks into that stadium and pays their money and grabs their hot dog and their soda. Yeah, he wants to do that. Sometimes it doesn't happen. We are 2 months in, gents, and I would caution that you don't jump off that bandwagon too quickly with regard to Matt Chapman, because he just might, I've seen him do it. He just might take this team on his back for 4 or 5 months and get him back in the race. You never know.
Let's go.
I mean, everything was great to put me up to that last couple lines there. I don't know about 4 or 5 months taken to the playoffs, but, it's, again, he's a guy we all know who can get hot at any point. Yeah. And so it's just, I don't know. I know I said last segment, he's the guy that, what's that?
It's a lot of Matt Chapman syrup. I like him, but all this syrup is making me want to projectile vomit.
All right. Maybe Bobby. We'll get Bobby back. Maybe his question for you won't make you throw up. Bobby, sorry I dropped you off earlier. Unfortunately, you failed to make me be a rational baseball fan, but maybe you can succeed in your question with Devone here.
Yeah. First, thank you for taking my call again. But look, Chapman in my mind is always going to be an A. He's not a gold glove. He's literally a platinum glove, but he's an A. His best years are behind him. The brother's like 10 years into his career, so it's just hard to get behind him. But look, that being said, I do have something for Devone. But Loverman, I caught a little bit of your answer about Shohei, and it was embarrassing. So when you go home and we listen to this,
Bobby, I stand by what I stand on principle. I stand on principle. That's what I do. I'm a Giants fan first.
Yeah, irrational hatred. That's what I said.
That's what I do.
Look, Devone, first of all, I know I'm not staying in my lane, but it's Saturday, so please just forgive me. I don't get to talk to Devone that much, okay? So look, brother, I don't know how old you are, okay, but I lived in that godforsaken city of New York for 10 years. I was there when my friends died, when we were watching John Starks and his stupid little face and Anthony Mason fall apart against the Rockets. Okay?
94.
And everybody's favorite grocery bagger, Anthony Mason. Shout out Kurt Warner. I just want to know, can you just give me a little background of, why you were stumping for the Knicks so hard? And, I mean, all credit to them. I can't believe they're up 2-0. But, what is it? Why are you stumping for the Knicks so hard?
My old man is from the area, got family in the area, was exposed to New York at a young age. Listen, my roots are here in San Francisco. I grew up at 21st Avenue between Lake and California. I was out at the Stick as a kid, watching some of the worst baseball ever, throwing, extra peanuts at a mascot called the Crazy Crab. So I got San Francisco in my bloodlines. I'm just saying a close second is New York City. And I love the city, and I'm not necessarily a Jet, Yankee, Mets guy, but when it comes, like a lot of people who live out there, man, when it comes to the New York Knicks, we all sort of rise as one. And it's happening this year. Don't get me going. I'm trying to dial it back and do Giant baseball and get out of here without me going nuts. But if you bring up Knicks, you may not bring me back today, my man. I may just go nuts for the next hour and a half.
It's Saturday, brother. First of all, the fact that you said we and Knicks makes me want to throw up a little bit. But, it is what it is. Hey, one last thing, and I appreciate your show. You guys were talking about Chicago, and I lived there for about 10 years, too. I've lived everywhere. But it is interesting. If you think about the A's and Comiskey, right, they're off the highway. They're very sterile, unappealing. Right. Then you talk about Wrigley, and you talk about Oracle in the city. Close proximity, obviously, to commerce and bars and things like that. I mean, it's a really good parallel. I lived there for 10 years. I went to Comiskey once, but I lived closer to Wrigleyville, so it was easy. But you just take, I literally could walk to Wrigleyville. But yeah, it's a party, and they sucked when I was there, but it was a party. But I'll tell you, I went one time, the last game of the season, so whatever that is, September. At Wrigley, it was freezing, dude. It must have been like 30 degrees. You got to get it while it's good in the summer in Chicago because it gets cold fast. So thank you so much for entertaining me. I appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend.
I got a good, not a good story, but he's right on. He obviously, did he say he lived in Chicago?
Yeah, I think he mentioned.
So I remember I was doing a live show on television back to the West Coast, and I was doing it from the new Comiskey Park. And they're in there's something called the Cabrini Green housing, which is one of the most dangerous housing in all of the world. I don't know if Cabrini Green is still there. But it's in a really bad area. And we all know there's sort of a civil war going on out there in Chicago. Chicago is not a safe city in certain areas.
Ooh, okay.
And certainly out there in the South side, the death rate in Chicago has been so bad. But I remember doing a live shot. And so they're obviously 2 hours ahead. And so when I was doing my live shot back to California, I had to be there late so that it would time, with the 10 o'clock news. I was there at like midnight doing a live shot. And I remember I was sitting there and I would hear crack, 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 crack. I'm like, what is that?
Fireworks, right?
Yeah, right?
That's what I say in Oakland.
My God. And the guns, and they're like, and the guy, the satellite truck operator was from Chicago, and we were leasing him out. He's like, yeah, we got to get the hell out of here. That's a nightly occurrence here. And those shots are getting closer. And I'm like, okay, gunshots during a live shot? I didn't sign up for this, man. So there you go. South side of Chicago.
Live on the ground in the war zone here.
Right.
So I live in Oakland, and usually it's fireworks go off at night. So you hear the boom. I do feel like, you know,
you really thought those were fireworks in Chicago? Or you were being funny?
Well, I'll say for Oakland, again, usually it's fireworks. Every night, you can usually tell by like how spaced out the pops are. Like if it's a consistent pop, 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 those are probably fireworks. When it's like pop, 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 pop. Like one morning I woke up at like 1 a.m. to one of those series of pops. It was like, oh no, those were not fireworks. But my Chicago story, Dan, goes back. So again, that 4th of July, it's the only time I've been in Chicago. We went down to the Navy Pier to watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
And there's no gun involved in this one.
Isn't Lake Michigan huge?
Oh, it's ginormous. Yeah,
I mean,
you think you're on the ocean. Yeah.
Like, I want to say it's twice the size of California.
Oh, no, it's not that big.
California
is a very big. I got Google Maps up here. It's not the size of California. It's big, but it's not half. It's maybe a quarter of the size of California.
Yeah, that was a big statement.
It's all right. We all say goofy things on the show. I said the Niners should release Brandon Ayuk, and that's apparently worse than what you said. But yeah, my friend Kevin and I were at the Navy Pier, and we've been knocking him back all day long while stumbling throughout the city, and I'm just kind of like, the show just ended. The fireworks show just ended. Everyone's kind of heading out. We're waiting for the crowd to die down before we leave, and all of a sudden I hear someone yell, "Yo, we need to run!" I look up and everybody just is like booking it away from the Navy Pier. This massive wall of people. And so I grab my friend. He's like passed down on the ground. I was like, yo, we need to get out of here. Like everyone's running. I don't know what's going on. And so, yeah, we're running off the green there that's along the lake. We get on like this walkway between like the water and the rest of the city. And I have no idea what's going on. You see the massive crowd of people in front of us turn around, start running back at us. I'm like, oh my God, what kind of awful thing is happening right now? Not a gunshot, but I guess someone stabbed someone. There was like a stabbing at the Navy Pier during the 4th of July fireworks thing that was going off. And so luckily we were able to get out of it. I didn't see anything had happened, but so no gunshots. But then of course, again, as we're walking through the city and we were staying in a neighborhood also kind of on the northish side. And, we played the whole, is it fireworks or gunshots game? And I think for the most part it was...
best food, any city in the United States, hands down.
Oh, Chicago does. Yeah. It's pretty good. I did have, I got some of the deep dish in there before I left, and
deep dish, that's not pizza.
It sat with me for a couple days.
That's a casserole, man. That's
a wonderful pivot, by the way. It wasn't fire. Great food, by the way.
Yeah, very good food.
We were getting so
someone. Great
here,
food.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about pops going off at night.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
It's you
have your crazy Chicago experience. I have my crazy Chicago experience. So, SFA drummer, I see you. I'm gonna get to you right off the bat on the other side. Also, Tony Vitello talked to John Shea this week, Dan. Before we got out of here, I got to get into this. Tony says he's here for the long haul. I want to get your thoughts on that. Brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good.
Hey, it's Willard and Dips for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for members. And as always, save up to 20% weekly on hundreds of exclusive offers from Safeway. Just clip the highlighted deals from the weekly mailer or click the deals in the For You section of the Safeway app to breeze through checkout. Mix and match Foster Farms Simply Raised boneless, skinless chicken breasts, thin sliced or tenders. Buy one, get one free of equal or lesser value when you buy two. And there's two of us. Here's Dibs.
And large 2-pound packs of delicious and juicy strawberries for $4.99 each. And taste the quality of the new Signature Select potato chips, 7.75 to 8 ounce selected varieties, just $1.88 each, Mark.
Is that all from you?
That's all.
I could have used more.
More chips, more strawberries?
Well, just more of all things that you can find at Safeway. These and other great deals are available in the weekly mailer and the For You section on the Safeway app. Go to Safeway.com for more details, and we'll see you in the aisles.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Bay Area remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi. Just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Be sure to tune into the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game following every Golden State Valkyries game when Joe Spadoni and Joe Shasky highlight the teamwork play of the game from the night before. Brought to you by El Camino Health, where togethering heals.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
You know the feeling. It's 2 a.m. You're awake, running the numbers in your head. Payroll's coming. A client hasn't paid. Costs just went up. And you're thinking, how am I going to make this work? That's where LendSeek comes in.
That was me. I had payroll in 3 days and money tied up in receivables. I couldn't wait weeks for a bank. I went to LendSeek, and within minutes, I saw real funding options. They were clear, upfront, no games. By the next day, the money was in my account. Payroll went out, crisis over.
LendSeek uses AI to match your business with the right funding, up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours.
With LendSeek, it's not just funding, it's knowing you're covered when things get tight.
If you've been in business for at least 1 year with at least $500,000 annual revenue, apply today. No upfront costs, no prepaid penalties, because in business, waiting isn't an option. Start ready, stay ready with LendSeek. Apply at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Get ready for Jim Gaffigan and his Everything is Wonderful tour on June 13th and 14th at the Masonic. A fourth show was just added. Buy your tickets at livenation.com. And for a chance to win tickets to the 4 p.m. show courtesy of Live Nation, visit 957thegame.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Jonah Cox to deep center field and gone! Against a position player pitching, Jonah Cox at Wrigley Field has a big league homer.
Now back to the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap on 95.7 The Game.
Dave Fleming on the call there as Jonah Cox goes deep. That was home run number 7 that the Giants had yesterday. Again, Dan, only 4 times in history have the Giants hit 7 home runs in a game. The last time it happened a couple of years ago, actually, against the White Sox. They hit 7 home runs in a 12-3 win. And then you got to go back to 2002 against the Rockies in Colorado. They hit 7 home runs. That was a game again. This was July 2nd, 2002. That was a game. Some games you just remember like really vividly. Other games I have no memory of. I can't tell you anything that happened in that 2023 White Sox game a couple years ago, Dan. I very vividly remember this Rockies game, though. They scored 8 runs off Denny Nagel in the first inning, punctuated by a Tsuyoshi Shinjo grand slam in that one. One of my favorite Shinjo home runs ever. I don't know if that's even a real list of favorite Shinjo home runs, but anytime you get a Tsuyoshi Shinjo reference on the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap, it's a good day. And then the first time, and this is in the San Francisco era, then you got to go back to April 30th, 1961. Giants hit 8 home runs that day. If that day sounds familiar, Giants fans, that's the day Willie Mays hit 4 home runs in a game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that is the kind of company that was in Milwaukee against the Braves. You'll be shocked to know this, Dan. All the games in which the Giants have hit 7 or more home runs in the San Francisco era have all come on the road.
Oh,
yeah. Apparently, Candlestick in Oracle Park is not a good place to hit 7 home runs in a game at. Who knew? Nope. So yeah,
It's called the Marine Lair.
Yeah, that the Marine Lair, and I think Candlestick it was called the Wind. Also, I think that also played a part of it there. So, and then I think the other fun stat was Chapman hit the 2 home runs, Schmidt hit the 2 home runs, and Willie Adames hit the 2 home runs. It marked the 3rd time in franchise history in which the Giants had 3 different players with multi-home run games. This is overall history. The first time was July 8th, 1956. Willie Mays, again, there's that name, Darryl Spencer, and Wes Westrum. The other time it happened, I just brought it up, that July 2nd game against the Rockies, Damon Minor, Reggie Sanders, and hey, there's our guy again, Tsuyoshi Shinjo. So those are the only times in the Giants' history that 3 guys have hit 2 home runs each in a game. So a lot of history in that game.
And who had the furthest? Whose home run went the furthest?
Ooh, Steven Risotto. Do you want to look up whose home run went the furthest yesterday? My guess is going to be Willie's on to Waveland to lead it off. But
nah, but it's hard to measure Willie's, though, can you?
Well, I mean, if it goes out, I mean, they have all this tracking information.
Jonah Cox.
It was Cox's? How far was
He
Cox's?
went dead red center field.
How far was Cox's?
448.
I got to look at that. I don't know about that one. I thought it was Adames on the Waveland.
Why don't you pull up which
He's
of those 7?
446.
I'm going to go with Adames. You go with Cox?
Yeah.
All right, we'll have Risotto figure
Cox
out.
unloaded. I know it was a position player, but that was a shot.
Still
man.
counts. Still counts.
No, but I'm just saying that was a serious shot.
So while Risotto does a little fact check here for us, why don't we go to SF Bay Drummer? He's on line 1 here, Steven. Get his thoughts on the Giants. What's up, Drummer? You're on the wrap.
Hey, what's up, Levin? What's up, Devon? Man, I'm kind of, happy to see the Giants make a little bit of an offensive turnaround. For weeks, we were like just dreading that, if they score 2 runs, we're going to automatically lose, or they're just going to, or we don't even have a bullpen to even hold the lead, and we're just going to blow it. So it's good to see that they, have a nice little firepower. I think Chapman should channel his inner Buddy Hield and just, take one for the team and say I'll waive my no trade clause and just get traded to, maybe hopefully a competitor where he could try to finish out the rest of his career with a ring. Because like where the Giants are right now, I don't think we're gonna, compete or anything like that. I thought we were gonna do that this year, but I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Hey, Drummer, really quick, I don't mean to cut you off here. I agree with what you're saying there. How would you look at Chapman if you found out there was a deal to send him elsewhere, but he decided to exercise his no trade clause and stay here?
I mean, it's within the player's right. It's in his contract language, so he has to agree on it. So, I mean, of course, I can have personal internal feelings about it, but I can't control it.
Yeah.
I mean, Chapman, he is a solid player at third base, so it's not like I'm going to, try to run him out of town. But I mean, like, hopefully, like over the next few weeks, if it happens to change his mind, you know, I respect it, and I'll you know, be like, thank you for what you did for the Giants, and good luck to your next team.
Okay,
and then
that's a very good answer.
And then also to keep it kind of like almost baseball related, and just as a little bit of a teaser here, could we say Mike Brown is on a Dusty Baker, Houston Astros like championship run? I think so. And Devon, I'm with you, man. I think the Knicks got it, man. So let me get you started up. Knicks in four.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let's get it. That would be, man, Mike Brown. I got to imagine, like, how are Kings fans feeling watching this NBA Finals? De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes on one side, Mike Brown on the other.
Well, I kind of like the De'Aaron Fox and the Mike Brown sort of squaring off in these finals because reports are that De'Aaron Fox is one of the guys that ran him out of town.
Who had the longest home run yesterday, Steven?
So Damas is first, 427. Chapman's first, 382. Schmidt's first, 411. Adames is second, 388. Chapman's second, 432. I'm just remembering I forgot the Schmidt second one here. But Dan was right. Jonah Cox, 446 feet. And by the way, the hardest hit one was Chapman's second, 109 off the bat.
Yeah, that second one. You can hear that one. So, all right, Jonah Cox flexing some muscles. Skills and Vallejo. He likes to flex for us. What you got for today, Skills? You're on the wrap.
Good morning, gentlemen. I want to talk a little bit about yesterday's game. I was on the road. I had the game on until like the second inning when they were up 2-0, and I had to turn it off. Had to go down and handle some business down at Kaiser Hospital and things like that. And when I get back and turn the game back on a couple hours later, the Giants have 16 runs. And I didn't even. I thought had I skipped ahead in time somehow? Was I in some vortex? I honestly did not know what had happened for them to score that many runs that fast, and it was refreshing. It's like the third double-digit run game they've had in, I think, the last 6 or 7 games. And, you know, and it's just such a contrast to where I was as a fan a week ago. Because I've been with this team. This is my 37th season with this team, going back when I was 10 years old. And I've seen a lot of low points, guys. Sam and Dan, I've seen so many low points from almost moving out of San Francisco in 92, the Solomon Torres game in 93, the Nestor Perez game in 98, Game 7 in 2002, where my girlfriend later told me she thought I was suicidal after they lost that game. The Steve Finley walk-off grand slam in 2004.
Oh, vomit-inducing.
Leg. I hate to bring all this up. Yeah, and Arenado's Mother's Day walk-off off Melanson in 2017, and of course, Wilmer Flores in 2021. But through all those low points, I was right there through all of it until last Friday, the game against Colorado at Denver. And after that, for my mental health, I had to take some time off from the Giants.
Understandable.
I took like 4 or 5 days off where I didn't watch or listen. I just kept up with them online and with you guys. And so at this point, we're so far behind the standings now. You're playing for respectability. You're playing, I think, for watchability. For Christ's sake, they were so hard to even watch for a long time. You got to see what you have in Eldridge. You're seeing good things there. You're seeing good things in McDonald for the most part that you have there. I'm going to keep watching now, and I know we're not going to blow out every team 18-3. That's unrealistic. But I also know with this pitching staff, we're going to get knocked around a little bit at times as well. So I'm going to just do my best to hang in there and go Giants. Thank you guys for the time.
Good stuff there, Skills. And that's what's kind of nice about this team, Dan, is even if this season does still go nowhere, which it probably will, unlike the past few years, especially that 22-23 team, like there's so many more reasons to lean forward on this team right now. What Jung-Hoo Lee's doing, what Bryce Eldridge is doing, what we're going to see Rafi Devers do this year, what Casey Schmidt is doing, what Landon Roop is doing. Who's going to be the guy that comes out of this bullpen and seizes that closer job? And can it please be Keaton Wynn? There's so many reasons to lean forward on this team.
You're playing for a playoff spot, by the way.
Still?
Oh, yeah.
I guess
when people are saying...
Hey, legally, they're still in it.
Legally. They're 8.5 back. Until you throw dirt on them officially, I'm fighting the good fight. And I'm not... This isn't shtick. I'm telling you.
Okay. Listen, you're making me sound like the hater. I love being optimistic about my Giants. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lean forward on a playoff run because I've been teased by these, we're kind of in it. We're kind of sort of in it. Like I remember 2009, they had a very good team that year, a great pitching staff. You could make an argument that the pitching they did in 2009 with Kane, Lincecum Sanchez, and Randy Johnson, I think Brad Penny was on that team too, if I recall. Like that might have been one of their best pitching staffs that they had from that whole run from 2008 to 2016. And that includes 3 World Series championship pitching staffs. They were in it that year. They didn't bring up Buster Posey, but they did this whole thing of, hey, your Giants are in this thing, a whole marketing campaign above it, within it. You know, they had a new slogan, we're in, and they ended up falling short towards the end. Ryan Spielberg, as we're talking about miserable Coors Field games, that was a part of that one there. I've seen this team tease potentially getting into the playoffs or into the playoff mix
well, there's
so many
no
times.
tease now. They suck.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
So I'm not buying the tease until, listen, get above 500. Get above 500, and then I'll be like, oh, hey, maybe they're in it. Until then, though, it's you're playing for respectability.
I don't know if I can let you guys on the wagon at that point. I think you've got to be like me and have the sort of foresight that it's going to happen.
I want the Giants to win as many games as possible, Dan. I am not one of those people who lose for a draft pick because, you're not going to get a draft pick this year. You can only pick no higher than 10.
All those people that are going to pivot after ragging on this team for the last 2 months, fire this guy sucks, and he's... All of a sudden, you want to jump on this wagon come August, and they're walking down Milwaukee? I don't know. I'm going to let you on. You got to pick a lane.
You know
pick
what?
a lane.
I hope we're in a situation where you can kick people off the wagon. Again, I'm always going to root for my Giants to do as best as they can, play as respectable baseball as they can. But I'm also going to be realistic about kind of where they're at. They could play great baseball the rest of the year, and it still might not be enough because, unfortunately, and I'm going to quote Steven Risotto on this, who's quoting other people, you can't win a World Series in April, but you can absolutely lose it. And Giants lost a lot of their season in April and May. They got a big hill. It would be one of the most incredible managing jobs ever if Tony Vitello led this team into a playoff spot this year.
This is as of last year, less than a year ago. How many games out? Look this up, please. Were the Cleveland Guardians going into July?
We'll get that in a minute.
Where's Ruderman? Ruderman?
I don't even know he's awake. He likes to sleep in on Saturdays.
You keep telling me this.
He's lucky that way. Tony Vitello, I do want to get into him a little bit here, Dan. I see everyone in the YouTube chat. We're going to talk a little bit of Knicks after this next segment.
Is that
here.
what they're... Wait, will you give me...
The entire YouTube chat, not Giants, they want all Knicks thoughts.
Give me one of the questions that I might be able to answer. We'll just tease this and we'll get back into the Giants. Just give me one that they're talking about with the Knicks.
Let me see if I can find something here.
I had no idea.
It's all been, where's the Knicks talk? Where's the Knicks talk? Are we getting to some Knicks talk yet?
It's coming.
AJ Cruz wants to know
the last half hour. We're going to get it. They're doing this for me. I'm going to give you some Knicks talk.
I'm literally just be like, Dan, you're Knicks, and then I'm just going to let you just wax poetic here.
Yeah, you got to be part of this.
But Tony Vitello, he sat down with John Shea, the SF Standard, earlier this week. I probably should have gotten into this earlier in the show.
Wait, pause. I'm sorry. He has breaking news. Go ahead.
Oh, what?
Not breaking news, Dan.
Yes, it is.
But the Guardians were 15 and a half games back in July, and it was the largest divisional comeback in MLB history.
15 and a half in July, and they went to the postseason. You're 8.5. It's early June.
Let's win 6 in a row.
Just don't worry. Just game to game, bat by bat, and don't worry about how many games you have to be over 500 to get there. I mean, if you were in Cleveland and you're the Guardians, how many times would you have thrown dirt on that team and saying, you know how many?
No, it's Cleveland. Every team starts out their season with dirt on them.
You know what your winning percentage has to be in order for you to go to the playoffs. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's just. Look at the bones in this team is all I'm saying is these boys can hit and they can pitch a little bit.
How would you feel about Tony Vitello if he got this team into the playoffs? Because you were skeptical on Tony. So what would that do here? What would that do for your opinion on Tony?
I kind of like Gomer Pyle. Man, I feel bad for this guy.
So he sat down with John Shea, and again, I've expressed this concern that this season just goes so off the rails that Tony's like, well, the heck with this. I'm going to go be the king in the SEC somewhere. He sat down with John Shea and was asked about that. And he basically said that he's determined to turn the Giants into a winner and committed to managing the entirety of his contract through 2028. That means no return anytime soon to the college ranks, even though openings generally surface this time of year with the College World Series on the horizon, which could prompt universities to consider calling the Giants to gauge Vitello's availability. Tony said to that, quote, I don't see that happening. I'm very happy with where I'm at and what I'm doing. I'm just like every Giants fan and the guys in the locker room and not just happy with the results. So the only way to change the results is to improve our approach and trust that the results will come. That's 100% where I'm focused right now. I'm not concerned with any of that being him going elsewhere. You hear that, Dan? What's that make you think when it comes to Tony?
I think Gomer's going to hang out for a little while.
I'm more inclined to believe that too. You know, it's when I look at this team, it's not just Tony, but it's Buster, it's a little bit Manassian, but it's also Randy Wynn, who's in charge of player development. And Andrew Baggerly sat down with Randy Wynn earlier this week with The Athletic, had a great conversation with Randy. And between this story I read about Tony, that conversation I read with Randy Wynn, it really drives home the inexperience that is running this team. But these guys know the game, though. I do believe that Buster Posey knows ball. I do believe that Tony Vitello knows ball. I do believe that Randy Wynn has the ability to develop or has the know-how in terms of how to develop a farm system. But they're still kind of figuring it out. I'm willing to kind of be like, this year is just kind of a figure it out kind of year for all of them. Less so for Buster and Randy, more so for Tony. But if this season kind of gives Tony the way to like learn from mistakes, feel more comfortable being the manager of this team, feeling more aggressive with some of the guys in this team who he needs to be aggressive with in terms of being honest with them, telling what they need to do or say, or when they're going to be in and out of the lineup. If this year kind of gives Tony the building blocks for him to grow into a better manager going forward, it's not ideal to be in this situation, but if you're looking for bright spots, like you could take a lump this year if it kind of helps you out in terms of being a better manager and having a better team the rest of the year and going forward.
Somebody agrees with you on that.
Yeah, that's Alex in Atlanta. This should be an interesting call. Let's go to our night of numbers here.
Is it Ruderman?
No, it's our friend Alex in Atlanta. Another big-time roaster, though, and he likes to call in on this one, and he loves tweeting stuff at me. Alex, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good today, Sam. How are you? Hey, man, look.
Listen, before we get started, Alex, before we get started, be honest with me. When they gave up that first run yesterday and the score went to 18-1, you got nervous about the bullpen, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. When you're up, I thought back to a couple of days ago against Milwaukee, they were up 12-3 in the seventh, and they only won by 3 runs.
That's why I love you, Alex.
But no, I would love to be optimistic about the Giants moving forward, especially considering how their offense has been playing lately. Their offense has been getting better production-wise with each passing month of the season. But I look at the flip side, and their team ERA just keeps getting worse. It's been constantly outpacing their offensive production every month, which is why they have, a record where they're 12 games under 500. And look, I agree with you. I would love to see them go on a run, but even if they went on a run right now, let's say they win their next 10 games, they're still 2 games under 500. They're still probably outside of a playoff spot looking in. They still have to play a lot of powerhouses in the NL this year. They got a series with the Braves coming up in Atlanta in a couple weeks. They have to play the Dodgers again. They have to play the Padres more.
Yeah.
And I just think you got to be realistic. You know they're probably going to move a rise at the deadline. You're not going to get enough pieces back to turn the pitching rotation around this year. I think you just have to accept that you can build on the momentum of this season going into next year. But I agree with Sam as well that this is a work in progress for Buster Posey. He's learning as he goes. And even the best players sometimes just don't turn into good executives. I'm a big hockey fan. You know that, Sam. And I know that Steve Yzerman's been the general manager of the Red Wings for the last 7 seasons. He's probably one of the best players that team has ever had. And he still can't figure out how to turn that organization into a playoff team as their GM. So I'm not going to hold my breath that Buster Posey is going to figure that out within a year or two.
And why'd they hire him?
It's a good point there, Alex. Thanks for the call there. Listen, I think there's a lot of dark excuses you can give for why the Giants hired Buster. You can make the case that I'm sure there's a lot of Giants fans out there that think that they hired Buster simply because you can't get mad at Buster Posey if things go south, which I think we've learned this year. We most certainly can get mad at Buster Posey if things do go south. Listen, Buster's a smart baseball guy. I do think that he has the intellect to do well at this job. That doesn't mean, though, that he's going to hit the ground running at it. I do believe that Tony Vitello knows ball. He has the intellect to do this job at a very high level. And I think, again, I go back to the Shea piece. He talked about, kind of getting guys in the lineup. There's a line here. When putting the lineup together, there's a unique blend of players on this. A lineup with no established veterans and a lineup that is just a bunch of young guys and basically a team that's torn down to the studs because he has more maneuverability there with the lineup. We know Tony is the one filling out the lineup most days. He is working in collaboration with Zach Manassian and Buster Posey. But I think Tony is kind of being forced as a rookiest of rookie managers to weave this tapestry of trying to.
I don't buy into learning on the job with the San Francisco Giants at the major league level, either for Buster or Tony. Because if you are a plug and play and an opportunity with that payroll and the money that you make, then bring in a GM and a manager that know what the hell is that they're doing, and that we're not here to teach them so that we can win 2 years from now. This is not, we're not at college. This isn't a transition. If there was somebody that was better suited to hit the ground running, so to speak, so that we can win today, then they should have hired him. I don't think the idea that this is a learning curve and that they're gaining experience, not at the major league level with the San Francisco Giants. Do that somewhere else. Do it at the minor league level. Do it with somebody else. And
so
then
you say it's like what a small market team would do.
Yeah, I just don't think San Francisco, where they were at, if it was a rebuild or if it was a team that was, to use your phrase, it was torn down to the studs and nowhere to go but up, maybe you can think differently. But when you think about the hire of Buster Posey, and let's keep in mind, when they traded for Devers a year ago, they were in first place in the National League West. So, hey, can we tease them New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs?
You really want to talk some Knicks, so we'll get into that on the other side because, the way that game ended last night, man.
Go ahead, Boston. Let it go, baby.
Soon.
Victor Wembanyama, man, he's going to be thinking about that pass that he shouldn't have passed to Stephon Castle and the timeout that they probably should have called.
Oh, so you watched, Sammy?
Well, of course I watched.
I thought you know.
Oh, I watch sports. You know, well, it helped that the Giants game was on during the day, so it didn't interfere with.
Right. That's where I was going. I'm like,
yeah. So it's gonna be great tonight. I can be able to watch the Stanley Cup tonight because I got no games that are interfering with it. They got Valkyries start.
That's disgusting that Carolina.
Valkyries start in 34 minutes. Our friend Kevin Dan will be on the call for that. Valkyries and Aces. Can the Valks bounce back after that tough loss against the Minnesota Lynx?
Isn't it kind of gross? So Carolina and Las Vegas are playing in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Honestly, the most disgusting thing in that, Dan, is the fact that Vegas is in it.
And they're good. They're going to win the damn thing.
I hate that I thought they were going to sweep. I mean, luckily Carolina's going to make this a series, but it disgusts me that the Knights have 3 cup appearances. They're going to win a second one.
In 4 years, 5 years?
We're here with the Sharks just...
How many years have Vegas been around?
2017 was their first year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A little longer than that.
So they're not even 10 years old. They're about to have 2 cups. Meanwhile, us long-suffering Sharks fans still got to wait a couple more years before Macklin hoists his first of many Stanley Cups. Let's talk about the NBA Finals on the other side. Brought to you by Fairmont Bank. Here for you, here for good.
When it comes to hiring a plumber, heating, or HVACR contractor, think UA Local 38. With non-signatory companies, that low price up front can quickly turn into added charges once the job begins. But with UA Local 38 signatory contractors, you know the cost up front. There's no surprises. Local 38 professionals are craft certified and complete over 10,000 hours of training, so you know the work is done right. For quality, accountability, and peace of mind, choose UA Local 38. Learn more at ualocal38.org.
Here's your spring upgrade. Sun's out. Drink in one hand and a free Samsung Galaxy phone in the other. All on unlimited 5G. Switch to Total Wireless and stay connected through every road trip, beach day, and everything in between. Now that's a total power move. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires new activation on a Total 5G Unlimited or Max 5G plan, single or multi-month plan. Additional port-in ID verification or device financing requirements vary by device. Purchase limits apply.
Paid advertisement by Ovation Law Firm, a California law firm. Some cases may be referred to partner attorneys. No attorney-client relationship is formed without a signed agreement. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
California drivers, your 2022 or newer car problems could actually qualify you for a major payout. Ford drivers got up to $186,000. GM drivers got up to $173,000. And those are just some of the settlements recovered this year. Some drivers may qualify for even more. If your 2022 or newer car keeps breaking down, stop paying for a mistake the manufacturer should be paying you for. California Lemon Law could entitle you to a massive cash settlement, a vehicle buyback, or even a replacement vehicle. If your 2022 or newer vehicle has repeated issues, warning lights, engine trouble, transmission problems, electrical issues, or it's been stuck in the shop for 30 days or more, you could already qualify. We fight to get your money back, and you pay absolutely nothing unless we win. Call 800-527-2131. That's 800-527-2131. 800-527-2131.
Hey, it's Willard and Dibs for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for members. And as always, save up to 20% weekly on hundreds of exclusive offers from Safeway. Just clip the highlighted deals from the weekly mailer or click the deals in the For You section of the Safeway app to breeze through checkout. Mix and match Foster Farms Simply Raised boneless, skinless chicken breasts, thin sliced or tenders. Buy one, get one free of equal or lesser value when you buy two, and there's two of us. Here's Dibs.
And large 2-pound packs of delicious and juicy strawberries for $4.99 each. And taste the quality of the new Signature Select potato chips, 7.75 to 8 ounce selected varieties, just $1.88 each, Mark.
Is that all from you?
That's all.
I could have used more.
More chips, more strawberries?
Well, just more of all things that you can find at Safeway. These and other great deals are available in the weekly mailer and the For You section on the Safeway app. Go to Safeway.com for more details, and we'll see you in the aisles.
The sports calendar is stacked, and San Francisco Fire Credit Union is stacking up a big offer of their own. SF Fire Credit Union has a limited-time 7-month tiered certificate. Earn 7.5% APY on the first $3,000 for the first 90 days, then 4% APY on the full balance for the remainder of the 7-month term. Start with as little as $250. Visit sffirecu.org and go to discover our best offers. Early withdrawal penalties may apply. This institution is not federally insured. The credit union is not insured by any state government. Privately insured by ASI up to $250,000 per account.
All right, I need avocados, bananas, salad, steak.
Wow, does your grocery list have multiple pages?
No, but I skipped lunch, so now it's like my stomach is doing the grocery shopping. And besides, I'm earning cash back with Upside.
Upside? What's that?
Hold up, you haven't heard of it? Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you shop at gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants. And they added Lucky and Food Max stores, so we're pretty much covered wherever we go.
All those stores?
Yep, so not only are we getting a great deal on groceries, now we can earn cash back as well.
Okay, downloading Upside. Now let me copy your grocery list.
Great news! Lucky and Food Max are now on Upside. Download the Upside app and use the promo code SAVE8 to earn a 10% cashback bonus on your first grocery purchase. That's promo code SAVE8 for a 10% cashback bonus. Use promo code SAVE8.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
If the rice ain't with it, then it ain't right. Yo, what it do? It's your boy Pilo, and I'm out here with Senior Sisig. If you know, you know. These guys been serving up Filipino flavor and repping the Bay for the last 15 years. Whether you're cruising through San Francisco, headed to the game, or just looking to grub, tap in with Senior Sisig and make sure you try my special collab item, Pilo Sinigang Wings. If the rice ain't with it, then it ain't right. Sisig, 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 Sisig.
If life is a game to be won, then every child deserves to play on a level field. Children International is empowering young people in poverty on their journey by giving them the tools, the training, and the skills to shape their own futures. From the early days of development through all stages of growth and into employment. This is how, together, we can help end poverty for good. Learn more at children.org.
Power your drive with Mobil 1 Motor Oil. Buy 5 quarts, get $15 back and score a fast and furious prize after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Now back to the best Giants talk in the Bay. The Orange and Black Weekend Wrap on 95.7 The Game.
We'll start spreading the news. The Knicks are leading today, and we here are a great big part of it. You know, it's a big part of it. It's one Dan Devone who's been feeling his Knicks. I remember listening to the crossover a week and a day ago, Dan. You, Steiny, Willard, and Dibs, and you had those three everyday guys just coming at you for having the gall to pick the Knicks. And I was listening to you, Dan, and you held your ground. You were in a 3v1 and you took on all of them. And you said, I believe in my Knicks. They'll be rested. They'll be ready to go. And by golly, Dan, 2 games in, Knicks look very well rested. They look very well ready to go. Jalen Brunson, man, the way he closed out game 1 and then, last night with
I was verbally assaulted.
You did pretty well. Listen, we all go through it here at the station at one point or another. We all get the verbal assault at some point. I've done shows with Joe Shasky. Happens all the time. But then look at that, up 2-0. So we did our picks. What was it? Game 1 was Wednesday, right? I don't know what day of the week it is ever. So we did our picks on the show on the morning roast. I think Carter and I picked the Knicks. Spadoni and the Joes, I think, took the Spurs. I said Knicks and 6 just for the culture, you know. I have a lot of friends who I went to college with in Miami who are from New York and big Knicks fans. And so, you know, I want them to have something nice. I'm rooting for the Knicks on their behalf, but the Spurs just blow it in game 1. Jalen Brunson completely takes over in game 1. Then last night, just Wemby getting that rebound there and it's trying to feed it to Castle. Castle's looking the wrong way. Brunson gets it, and that's a moment that they're going to think about for a long time.
But we'll see. Let's get to calls.
Yeah. So, what's your? I want your thoughts on that win last night.
I want to hear from the people. Let's hear
All
from
right,
the
let's
people.
go to one of our
people know how I feel about this.
Let's go to our friend Mitch in New Jersey. Mitch, how you doing today, man? You're you're on the rat.
What's popping? What's popping? Dan? How we doing? What's popping? I don't know. Those are the 49ers that played a few times this week because they must have hit the ball better than the regular Giants, though. Way to go. Wake up the bats. Maybe we'll pass.
We're talking Knicks. We're talking Knicks, Mitch. We're talking Knicks.
Talk whatever you want.
Okay, not a problem. I thought I'd give you a little bit of everything. Knicks, incredible. Brunson, he's almost as tough as AI. Josh Hart, he hasn't scored a point, but he was a big reason for game 1 win. And Cat, love the guy. I mean, he's gone through so much. Love to see him. The series is over 4 games. It's a Festivus miracle and a great song you played. New York, New York. Give me that old Frank Sinatra. Keep it up.
Love it, Mitch. Thank you for the call there. And I'm kind of curious, what is that city going to be like on Monday night? What's that city going to be like during the day on Monday? So when do you fly back to New York, by the way?
Well, I'm going to be here this whole. I'm not.
So you're staying out here all week?
I'm supposed to go to Game 6 if there is a Game 6, and I had no idea that this thing is going to be potentially swept because I went as far as to say once you leave San Antonio, you ain't going back. So I think that New York has a hell of a shot of wrapping this thing up. But I think that, to be completely fair, Wembanyama scares the hell out of me. Mm-hmm. He just does. And if he wakes up and realizes that, you know, he's not 22 anymore and scared of the moment and pooping his shorts, then he could dominate this whole damn thing. But I think, and that's what happened to him last night. That wasn't just they should have called the timeout. Why is he throwing the passes? You're 22 and this moment's too big for you. That's what happened to him last night. And that's what the finals do. Mm-hmm. The finals will reveal those sort of thoughts and where you're at as a player. And that was clearly, you young fella, you ain't ready for this. And let me tell you something. It's not going to get any better when you go to New York.
Oh, it's going to, I cannot even imagine what the city is gonna be like during the day even. I mean, how is this going to be like one of the most unproductive weeks in New York ever in terms of just people like showing up to work and getting their jobs done? Like,
yeah, well, the vibe is amazing, and the weather's hit. It's about 83 degrees out there, and so the watch parties are everywhere. Central Park.
So you were back there this past week, though, right?
No, I wasn't. I was here because I was doing shows, and so no, I won't go back until the 15th. So
you better hope this game goes 6 so that you can celebrate with
on the
them.
16th. I'm supposed to be there. Well, hopefully it'll go to a game 6 and they win it in 6. Actually, if they wrap it up before then, I'm fine with that as well. But
what's going to happen to that city if they actually do pull this off?
They're going to burn it down.
Are we going to have it in New York City the next day?
It's not going to be there. No, it's. I mean, we talked about this. That you have Yankee fans. And you have Met fans, and they don't like each other, right? Mm-hmm. You have Jet fans. They don't respect Giant fans, and Giant fans don't like Jet fans. If you walk down the seat, if you walk down Lexington Ave or you're down in the Village, you're wherever, you're on Fifth Ave, and you're wearing a Yankees hat, you could easily have it knocked off your head by a Mets fan or vice versa. When it comes to the Knicks, everybody's on board. It's the one thing that
it's kind of like the Warriors out here, right?
It unites New York. Brooklyn never registered, and it never will. Like, the Nets are meaningless. But when it comes to the Knicks, everybody comes together. And so the perfect storm was, and a lot of people didn't think it was going to happen in their lifetime, but if the Knicks were to get to the NBA Finals and be on the precipice of winning this damn thing, that the city would absolutely explode. I can't even envision what's going to happen in New York. I can't. I have no idea. It's mind-blowing. I mean, it's crazy. It really is.
I mean, I feel like in order to find a time where the city of New York experienced a championship that everybody could wrap their arms around, because, again, yeah, you mentioned, Yankees, Mets, it's such a split. Jets, Giants, it's such a split. I mean, I don't know what the Rangers Islanders split is like in that town, but like I think back to when they won in '94. I mean, again, I was a year and a half. I don't have that much memory, but I've seen clips and stuff like that. How just insane New York.
Who are you talking about? The one in '94.
The Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah, I'm talking like when New York won a championship, the city could full like. I get that's why I say I don't know what the Rangers Islanders split is like. I don't know. Does the city of New York embrace the Rangers kind of more fully than like the Islanders, or is there kind of more of a Mets Yankees like split between Rangers fans and Islanders fans?
The Islanders don't play in the city. I mean,
they're on Long Island.
They're on Long Island. They're in one of the boroughs, but they don't play in, New York is more, it's about Madison Square Garden and the teams that take part there. So, yeah, I mean, I would say the rivalry between the Mets and the Yankees and Jets and Giants, not so much because both of those teams have been
and half that's the Jets. So.
Yeah, so there's a big Jet community there. The Jets, I'd say Yankees 2, Jets 3 maybe. But
Knicks are 1.
When it comes to the Knicks, it's clearly number 1. And the city is just, I mean, whether it's sports bars, whether it's watch parties, which are everywhere. There's buildings. There's the side of buildings. They'll show the game. So there's people just randomly stopping in the streets and they're watching games together as one. And it's the biggest unifier right now in that city. It is. It's crazy. It's off the chain. So.
It kind of reminds me, again, I think what the Warriors are, I think, in this market here, in that, you got, for a while, I mean, half, obviously, the market was Niner fans and Raider fans. Half the market was Giants fans and A's fans. Half the market was hockey fans and not hockey fans. But everyone in the Bay Area, whether you're an A's fan, a Raider fan, a Niner fan, a Sharks fan, Giants fan, A's fan, like the Warriors are the one team. I think I remember Tim Roy had the call at the end of that first championship. The Bays team is the best team.
Yeah.
Like the Warriors are the team that we can all here in this region kind of get behind and embrace. Like I remember being at Giants A's games in 2016, and I always loved the Let's Go Oakland, Let's Go Giants back and forth, and it was always punctuated with the Let's Go Warriors, and that was always the one team that we can always agree on. So it seems like Knicks, it's the exact kind of the same thing here, where the Yankee fan and the Met fan, they'll run into each other at the bar, but they're both wearing the Knicks hat. So for a night, they can kind of be, they can be friendly with each other.
Yeah, and let me just say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This thing isn't done, right? They're just halfway home. It looks good at this point. And what's the percentage? Something like 92 to 94% of the teams that are up 2-0 in the NBA Finals win the damn thing. So it looks good, but the freak scares me a little bit. I'm just waiting for him to wake up. And the way they play him, you said you watched the game last night. Mitch Johnson does not use him properly, and I don't know why this kid is gassed, but he is, and maybe it's because of all and literally, the NBA playoffs have become a battle of attrition because you only get one day off now with the new formatting, and when you think about having to play for over a month and going deep into series, as they did last series, going 7 in the Western Conference Finals, going 6, I believe, against Minnesota, It takes its toll, and especially when you're a big dude like that, man. He doesn't have his legs for some reason, and I think that the moment is it's too big sometimes, and that's just what happens when you play at this stage. It's why they say you need some of the scar tissue before you can break through. That you got to get to the precipice and be a team that's been there a couple of times before you know how to play at this level and how the game's still got to slow down for you. And this moment, you can anticipate, you can think about it, but until you do it, until you throw the ball off the back of Matt Cass or Stephon Castle, you have no idea how you're going to react. And everybody reacts differently under the big lights.
Yeah, again, you mentioned the 2-0 hole here, Dan. 93 Bulls and the 95 Rockets are the two most recent teams to go up 2-0 on the road in an NBA Finals. It's very hard to do that in the NBA Finals, go up 2-0. And obviously both of those teams still won those final series. So history very much on the Knicks side there in that regard. I mean, a couple of years ago, we saw the Bucks come back from down 2-0, but I believe those first two games were in Phoenix. So the Suns won those two games at home, and then the Bucks righted the ship when they went home here. So the opposite situation the Spurs are in. Bringing up Wemby, though, and how he played last night. I think he even said after the game last night he could have... what
did he say was blurry?
I think he said it was... The clip I saw was he could have better handled his rest and recovery after the West Finals, I think. I mean, they celebrated big.
He was too busy crying.
That. Yeah, I mean, it was an emotional series. I mean, I thought throughout most of that series until Chet kind of faded away towards the end, I thought that Wemby was kind of having a little bit of a difficult time with Hartenstein and Chet being thrown at him. I mean, those are two guys who are both big enough to bang around with him down low. That's going to take its toll on you. Chet obviously faded away in the second half of that series here, which I think allowed the Spurs to kind of get the leg up on the Thunder there. But that was an emotional series. That was a draining series.
It was emotional, but you can't cry and you can't hug because you didn't win anything yet. And so that's part of the youth that I'm talking about, that all of this is a learning curve. And if he wins the West again, if he's fortunate enough to beat OKC or whomever and get to the NBA Finals, he ain't going to cry. But he did this time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, how it was perceived in New York and by friends that I know and people in New York.
Sure, very rationally.
It was they felt it as an absolute slap in the face. And, of course, they're always looking for an edge and some sort of incentive. And the fact that Wemby hugged and cried and felt as though
they act like they won it all.
We just beat the best team, because a lot of people remember how they tabbed that. This is the NBA
Finals. I think I might have been one of those people, Dan.
That's the NBA Finals, and we just beat OKC. We just won it. To your point, it's emotional. So they're hugging, they're crying. All they stop short of pouring the champagne. And here's New York saying, "Are you serious? You ain't won crap. Let me show you what you've won. Let's get this thing going."
You want a date with misery.
There's that. There's that disrespect that New York is out of the Eastern Conference and you beat teams like Cleveland and Philadelphia and Atlanta. Come on, man. It's OKC at the end of the day. And everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people dismissed what it was that the New York Knicks were doing to teams. And what they were doing to teams was epic. It had never been done before. And so here they are, a team that still hasn't lost, and a team that maybe the point differential isn't like that, what it was in the Eastern Conference Finals, but it's still so damn impressive, and they're playing their best basketball. Again, a lot of meat on that bone. You're not home yet, but I think part of it was disrespect, and I think what you're seeing now is what a lot of people felt going into this, is that team is too damn young, and I'm talking about San Antonio. And if they were young in San Antonio, what do you think they're going to be like going out in New York?
Oh, they're going to be even younger. Like, they're going to be the case of Benjamin Button. They're going to be aging in reverse. But yeah, Dave, look, I think the experience factor absolutely plays in being on this stage. Again, we all thought the Thunder were going to win that series. No one had the Thunder falling apart at the end like they did, and the Spurs taking advantage of that. And the Spurs, they're going to be around for a while, to your point. But you bring up the age. You know, Dylan Harper, the rookie, 20 years old. Yep. Stephon Castles, second year, I believe, player for him. He's 21. Wemby, he's 22 in his third year. Julian Champagnie, he's 24. The old guy in their rotation is Devin Vassell at 25. And obviously you got De'Aaron Fox at 28, Harrison Barnes at 34, Luke Cornett at 30. So you do have veterans on that team, obviously. I'm not, brushing those guys off. But in terms of like your core players, the guys who you look to really carry the weight on a night-to-night basis, Harper, Castle, Wemby, Champagnie, Vassell, 25 or younger. I mean, the first Warriors team that won a title, they were, Steph was 27, Clay was 26, Draymond was 26, 25, 26, around there. They were a little bit more playoff tested because they had been in the playoffs a couple years before as well. So this Spurs team, it's because Spurs didn't make the playoffs, if I recall, last year, right? No, of course not. That's how they got Dylan Harper. So to go from, picking the top 3 of the lottery, top 4 of the lottery, all of a sudden to the NBA Finals for a team like the Spurs, that is a massive leap for a team that young. And I do agree, Dan. I do think that the lights got very bright. They celebrated like they won the finals. And then they're like, oh, crap. there's a whole nother job we need to do. We're just not ready. And it's going to help them out in the long run. Not really right now.
Yeah, I think it's real. When you talk about teams that win NBA championships are usually in that sweet spot. When Denver won it a couple of years ago, when you're talking about the Joker and Jamal Murray, all those guys Aaron Gordon were 27, 28 years of age. Same thing with the Boston Celtics and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They had been to NBA Finals. They'd been to the playoffs, but it wasn't until you get to your late 20s when all of this stuff begins to make sense and you can really understand. Because when people talk about, well, the NBA Finals in the postseason, it's a different animal. The game slows down. Possessions become that much more important. And some people brush it aside. I wouldn't do that if I were you, because all you need to do is look what is taking place this year. And what is happening this year with a very talented San Antonio team. I'm not going to be dismissive of what it is that Castle and Dylan Harper and obviously what Wembanyama are going to be able to do throughout their careers. But as of right now, as we sit today, Game 3 in the NBA Finals, they're too young for this. And you want proof? Well, Exhibit A was what happened in the most important part of the game last night when Wemby gets a rebound and throws a ball off the back of Stephon Castle. That wasn't miscommunication. That wasn't, although Mitch Johnson should have
called timeout right away.
Well, they should have known beforehand, this is what we're going to do if we get a rebound. Let's call a timeout, set up a play as they did in the last play of the game where Wemby actually had a good look. But what ensued was a young player, much like that of Chris Webber back in the day when he called timeout in the NCAA tournament, much like that of, Ben Simmons who refused to dunk a basketball, and that was the Eastern Conference Finals. When you get to this stage, weird things happen, and you can't anticipate it. That's what happened to Wembanyama last night. What happened to Wembanyama last night is he was 22 years of age.
Yeah. And again, you look at the Spurs, and I think they're going to be set to run the West for the next couple of years. I don't want to say too long of a term because the current CBA kind of prevents that. But, Damon Bruce, who used to, run these airways here in 95.7, he had a great line. This is talking about the Warriors' ascent is usually you need to have like a knocking on the door period. Yeah. There's a couple times you have to get into the playoffs. You have to fall short a couple times in the playoffs, usually in the NBA.
That's how it's done.
Before you ascend to that, that level. It took the Nuggets a couple of attempts in the playoffs before they won. I mean, they got knocked out by the Warriors in the first round before going all the way the next year. Obviously, the Celtics with Tatum and Brown, they got knocked around a bunch in the playoffs before they finally broke through a couple years ago. Even the Thunder, for as mighty as they were, they were a couple years ago in the 23-24 season, they were the 1 seed. They got knocked out by the Mavericks in the conference semis. So, and then they came back, bounced back, and won it the next year. That's one of the more faster ascending teams that we've even seen.
I thought they were ahead of schedule last year and they won it.
Exactly. And then they looked like they were primed to repeat this year. And so, and the Spurs, they ended up arriving early. So this will be a great lesson for the Spurs. I think they're going to be an incredibly dangerous team going into the next year. If you're thinking of a move, though,
it's not
2 games in yet. 2 games in, though, I do not put the ball in De'Aaron Fox's hands. It seems like every time he's gotten the ball in these first 2 games, with moments here or there, but for the most part, every time he gets the ball, it seems like something disastrous happens.
I don't know. He was pretty good last night.
The second half, I thought he played a lot better, but the first 6 quarters of these finals, it just seems like every time the ball's in his hands, it's like a turnover or a brick or something.
Yeah, he's been I think he's been pretty good, and I think that De'Aaron Fox is your only point guard. So we saw what happened in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals when he was out with a high ankle sprain, and they tried to put the ball in Stephon Castle's hands, and that was a complete disaster. So they're really reliant on him balancing the floor and being that guy. I know we got 2 minutes hard out.
Yeah.
So, but my concern, if you're if you happen to be a San Antonio fan, Spurs fan, is that I think he may have re-injured or at least tweaked that high ankle sprain. So we'll have to keep an eye on him coming up tomorrow night. Yeah, should we do a little New York early, Pasta? Do you go to New York, Sam?
I've been to New York a couple times. I haven't been to New York. I think the last one. No. I was in New York. I was in New York last winter for
Mark Willard. Where are you?
I had to go to New York for a funeral last year. So
hit me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, my uncle unfortunately passed, so I had to go out there. But I've been in New York for fun reasons too. He lived in Brooklyn.
Okay. Did you get into the city, though?
I did not get into the city for that. That was a weekend trip, and so didn't get into Manhattan on that one. But the last time I've been in Manhattan, I got to go back to, I think, 2011 maybe?
Yeah.
I haven't been out to New York for a while, but thing I love about this Knicks team, though, it's just they play such a great team brand of basketball. The way they've been assembled, like most teams you build up through the draft, they're kind of they acquired a lot of these guys through trades and free agency. And I love how I'm really happy for Cat.
And they listen to Michael Jackson.
I'm very happy for Karl Anthony Towns because he's a guy who's just gotten so much crap his entire career for just not living up to being a number one pick. And I'm very happy that this is kind of working out for him. And especially like,
God, why do I feel like I'm setting myself up for 2 losses here?
Because that's Knicks basketball for you.
Well, this whole idea that it's over with. What time are we at?
We got about another 25 seconds here that we need to kill. So what's your thought for
don't
next
ask
game's
me,
Monday night?
Don't ask
you don't want to do a prediction?
I don't do that. No.
Oh, okay, well, I'll just say again, I'm going to double down. I'm happy that Karl Anthony Towns is potentially going to see his career kind of pay off a little bit here. And Jalen Brunson, man, I mean, I don't know if he's like a megastar in the NBA, but love just seeing him kind of lead this Knicks team here. So anyway, that's it for the Orange and Black Weekend Wrap. Got Valkyries coming up next. Let's go Valks. Let's get back into the win column here. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. For Dan Devone, Sam Loman, Cam Williams, Steven Risotto. Don't forget, everybody, Dodgers suck.
Later, dudes. Let it rip. Hang 10.
Hey, it's Willard and Dips for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for members. And as always, save up to 20% weekly on hundreds of exclusive